Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, or Columbus Day, whichever one you want to observe.
I'm gonna go with Columbus Day. Hey, how was the event?
Sick.
It was?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super glad that I went.
Oh, man. Tell me it was horrible, and I missed nothing.
Yeah, there were a few, it wasn't like could have been better,
Perfect.
Only like all of us were there and stuff.
Oh, man. I have to tell you, I was really impressed with the whole thing. The show, everything was
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, I mean, it looks so good from far away.
that's good.
J
Yeah,
JR should be JR should be stoked.
I hope he is, man. I think
Dude,
a
so
great
many
show.
people loved the event. Hey,
Good.
what's the deal with Nick Matthews? Was Nick Matthew angry?
Uh, I didn't see him like angry, but I could definitely have perceived him as like frustrated.
Did we did we say anything offensive towards him? Like the broadcast?
Not that I can remember. I think it was just like generally like a what happened to Nick Matthews kind of thing.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think
So
anybody was.
okay. Cuz do you know what I'm referencing? The fuck you that he gave to Souza?
Yeah, I
I
don't know
guess
what that's about.
okay. All right.
I I
I'm
saw
a
him
little
just
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I saw him outside just when I was like waiting for people to run around the building, and I just kind of spoke with him. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He told me that he was having a not so great weekend. And I was like, "Oh, is that just because you're not peaking or whatever?" And he's like, "No, I've been dealing with like a shoulder injury, I guess. So that's why his the handstand that at least explains the handstand push-up workout." But
Okay.
I don't know. I think maybe he's just frustrated with his performance.
Okay. Fair enough. And he has the right to be. You guys got crushed. No, you guys crushed. No, you guys crushed it at Crash this weekend. Nice work all around. Yeah. It's so weird when we do these 3-day events, and I'm so fucking tired of being on the air at the end. I'm like, how do we do longer events?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like the games, I always wonder, like, how do I make it through the games?
yeah, my back was lit up.
Um, I overheard Nick and his wife talking shit about how Lizzie was the head judge and it was unfair. Oh, because she's married to Taylor.
I couldn't disagree more with that. She
That it's
was
on. Yeah,
yeah,
go
that it
ahead.
was unfair. She was incredible the whole time. I mean, she was yelling at I don't think there was never an instance that she wasn't correcting something of anybody. Like, she wasn't letting anybody just get away with shit. There was I mean, every time anything was incorrect, she was on it, and if she didn't see it, JR saw it. And it was the both of them took care of everything that any issue that was going on.
That being said, you understand why he'd say that, right? Like
Yeah, of course.
your husband's a competitor, and you're the fucking general. You're
Right,
what's the guy's name? J.R. Howell's general.
right. I understand it, but I disagree.
Lydia gained so many fans this weekend, starting with me. Yeah, the comments are great.
She's a spicy chick, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's cool. Thanks to the team that got together to put this on. Very fun to watch. Makes it really fun to see some of these smaller competitions broadcasted so well. There was
Yeah.
another picture of Katrin's boobs. Did you see it where she's floating in the water?
Yeah, they look like life preservers.
Yeah, those things are crazy.
Yeah.
Makes me want to have her on more.
Yeah, you think so?
Her boobs are cool. I like boobs.
Yeah, they're nice.
I haven't been nice to fake boobs, but maybe I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
turn a new leaf.
I know. You just give them a shot,
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna turn a new leaf. I'm so happy for her. I do
All
think
boobs
though that
matter.
it means that she's not competing.
Yeah. Isn't that just like the final, like, hey, we're done here?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I'm not a proponent. Sevi loves saggy boobs more than fake ones. I mean, I like real boobs. But the picture of her floating on her back is fantastic, dude. There's the comments are so fucking funny in that thread. There's a guy. Let me see if I can find. It's such a great exchange. There's some really great exchanges. I need to do a news show. I think today I'm going to do a news show. I have so much funny CrossFit shit. Rich Froning shot a giant elk. Did you see that? And the
Yeah.
comments in there are wild.
It's crazy how many people just flock to his posts and just take a dump.
Yeah, this picture's what a great picture.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty lucrative.
someone said, oh, this person says, I feel very uncomfortable commenting on people's bodies, but at the same time, I think it varies from that's your problem. I'm done reading that. Oh, I'm so happy you're on the stream, Vic. Anyway, in the previous post, someone
Raises for
put
that doctor, dude.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's positive. I do think that there'll probably be a lot of women who are disappointed in her. The men in this comment section who think it's okay to comment on a woman's body is like, what? Let me see that girl's. I want to see. Click on her account. I want to see what kind of person. I hope you like dogs and CrossFit. Let me see. Keep going.
This chick looks familiar. I feel like we've shit on her before. And she went private. That would be hilarious, dude.
I don't get like click that one in the middle where you can where she's kind of like she's got her shoulders back and her boobs forward. I want to see her boobs. Oh, so she got some big old hammers. Let me click to the next one.
That looks like some really good.
Can someone explain to me? CrossFit. What about Talena Fortunato and Lauren Brooks? They repped with the ICMBs. What's that? Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles. Ballistic missiles. I wonder if Catchman will keep them. I wonder if she'll get them on and then be like, "Ooh, I don't like them." I think some women get them and they get attached to them, but they really don't like them. It's tedious. You know what I mean? It's like a purse. It's like it reminds me when my sister used to carry a flute to school every day when she was in elementary school, and I used to want to carry it. And like a couple times I would be like, "Hey, can I carry your flute to school?" And it was like a half-mile walk to school or a mile walk. And then you do it once or twice, you're like, "Okay, that's not cool." You think it's going to be cool, but it's not cool. But with boobs, you kind of get attached to them, even though it's a pain in the ass carrying them around. You get attached to them because you get so much cool attention for them.
Right. Okay.
Some girls' bodies reject the boobs like an autoimmune issue. Wow. Oh, Pinheiro has them. Yeah, true. I think Pinheiro is like a pro something else though too. Like whatever her other job is, fake boobs were not an inhibitor, right?
Yeah, you can just have them for the fashion.
Yeah, wasn't she a bodybuilder or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think pretty much all female bodybuilders have bolt-ons.
It's like boob. You know, like someone has like a Datsun 510 and they put like a huge whale tail on it, and it's like just for aesthetics. You know what I mean? When people put like a one of those racing tails on the back of their car, you don't see them so much now anymore, but you used to see them like back in the 90s. Like on a Volkswagen Jetta, someone's got like a fucking racing tail on it, and you're like, okay, that's not needed.
Right.
The test helps the boobs grow. What test? Oh, the steroids?
The TRT.
I don't think so. I'm guessing it means she's done competing. The weirdest thing is when UFC fighters get them.
Oh yeah, because that's just extra weight.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great picture of her. I prefer her like that. She almost looks natural there.
Almost.
All her makeup's gone and
yeah, that makes you realize how much makeup she actually wears, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of makeup. I'm not a fan of fake boobs too, but I am happy for I do think it's fun that Katrin got him. I'm curious. It'll be. I mean, already her pictures are different, right?
Yeah, she probably gained like 30,000 followers off of that.
Oh, that would be fucking crazy. I wonder if there's going to be a whole series of posts now where they're out.
Got to keep life interesting.
Oh yeah, there's another one. There's another one where her tits are out. The next one, her tits are out too.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's got three in a row.
It's like when Wild on Earth was created, they just posted a bunch of scenery pictures.
Are those two? Is she a whole Earth girl? Is she
I
the
don't
a shoe girl for them?
I don't think so.
Hey, who do you think gets them next? You think Danny gets them?
No. Maybe Annie?
No.
No way.
No.
I don't know.
What about this hot take? Annie's happily married with kids and her life is fulfilled, and so she doesn't get them.
Ooh. You think she's not fulfilled?
I don't know. Just a cheap 50 cent, analysis. I'll wait till David Weed chimes in. I'm sure that'll be the official word.
Oh, these are some good options.
I blocked a Sarah Sigmund's daughter.
Yeah, maybe.
Camille.
I think Camille's too far out. I don't even know.
She could still get some. She could have another midlife crisis.
That's true. Good point.
Tia will not get boobs.
No.
Tia already has boobs. You have to remember some of these girls will just start eating again and working out less, and their boobs will just come back.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
I have huge titties already. I tried on that fucking medium shirt that fucking Travis sent me, and I swear to God, I need a fucking bra. Oh, this person didn't even spell out titties. Fake titties are a turnoff because they are fake and they reflect sad insecurity. It's like trying to normalize obesity. I don't understand how it's like trying to normalize obesity, but I do get the component of it reflects a sad insecurity. I kind of, my concern isn't that. My concern is copycats, right? That's what's happened to the fake boobs thing. It's just a copycat thing. Now everyone gets them because they feel like they have to. If you want to compete in the mating arena, you better have some. You know what I mean? You better have some titties.
Yeah.
I started eating and got my titties back. I'm just old too. Like it's just like if I don't do 10 push-ups every 10 minutes during my waking hour, my boobs sag. I have to drop and give 10 every 10 minutes. Yeah, you could put the exerciser on the fucking boob and stretch it out.
It's probably big enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations to the rack. We'll be watching closely.
It's to the rack.
Oh, is she on the Galapagos Islands? Is that where the Komodo dragon is? Is she on the Galapagos Islands, Annie? Oh, Komodo Island, Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Oh. Are the Komodo dragons on Galapagos Island too, or is that something else? Some giant iguana that's there. She posted a Komodo dragon.
No Komodo dragons do not live on the Galapagos Islands.
Well, that was quick. You fact check that quick.
Yep.
Hey, can we? Oh, so her Komodo dragon post has 2,000 likes, and her titties got 15,000.
Wow.
Her first titty post got 25,000. Interesting. So boobs get more likes.
Crazy.
Yeah, pregnant. She's
a wild analysis we just did.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming she's going to get pregnant next.
Really?
I mean,
Wouldn't it
she
be,
had.
shouldn't it be the other way around?
What do you
You get
mean?
pregnant, where you get pregnant and then your tits get really saggy, and then after that, then you're like, "Damn, I hate having saggy tits," and then you get a boob job?
Or yeah, maybe at least justify it like that in that order.
Yeah. Like, if you just
Yeah, I hear
normal
you.
person.
I hear you, but here's what I'm thinking. She gets those titties, and that dude's fucking just can't keep his hands off them.
Mm,
And, like, have you ever had your hand on a boob and not been hard?
no.
But you've had that experience where you just reach over in the middle of the night and, like, you go to
Yeah,
say
yeah, no,
goodnight
I'm
to your
I've
wife, and you barely graze the tit, and you just get erect. You're like, "Wow,
every
that's
time.
you're like, "Wow, that is what a crazy phenomenon." You're not even trying to get horny.
You're like, "Wow, that's nice."
Yeah. Or you're in the kitchen and your wife brushes the boobs up against you or something, you hug her and you feel her titties, and all of a sudden you're just ready to go.
Game over.
Yeah, so that's why I think she's gonna get pregnant because he's gonna bump it because they stick out further, he's gonna bump into him,
Mm,
600% more. He'll be hornier more erections mean more chances of getting pregnant.
yeah, that tracks.
I learned you know what I learned this weekend, I didn't know is that, a woman actually goes through, like, hundreds of eggs a month.
Instead of
The way I was taught in the 8th grade is a woman you have 2 fallopian tube you have 2 ovaries, and a woman makes an egg, and it drops down the fallopian tube, one of the bull horns, right? Yeah, and it drops down, and then it waits, and if the sperm hits it, it attach or no, maybe it attaches anyway. No, no, a sperm hits it, and then it attaches to the, uterine wall, and then the
mhm,
baby grows. Well, I learned that, really a woman's ovaries will drop like a and the word there is drop. I guess I'm using the word drop wrong, but a woman's ovary will actually make like 100 eggs and put them out, and they won't make the journey there's some sort of, process where they call it one of them gets a follicle. I don't know what that even means. But, out of those 100, 1 or 2 will actually become viable to go down the fallopian tube, and the other 98, they go through something called atresia, Atresia. I'm assuming that means the body just absorbs it. And then that egg makes it down the fallopian tube, and then it waits for the fucking soldiers to show up. And if they don't show up, then the uterine lining sheds and the egg drops out, and that's the period. But I always thought it was just one each time. So a woman has way more eggs than I thought. I
hmm,
thought they had a set amount of eggs and gradually become less and less. Yeah, exactly. That is what happens. They
yeah,
do
but I
they do
wonder,
have
it's gotta be, like, millions at that point, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, they have fucking I thought they just had a few thousand and they just took turns dropping every month, but
Oh,
they
I
don't.
see.
Each one, and the each one and I guess for in vitro, how I got on this is I was really curious. I was talking to Sarah Cox about in vitro, and she kind of explained it to me, and then I was like, "Is that really true?" So I started researching it. I guess in vitro, they take your egg out of you and they get a fucking dollop of your dude's sperm and they fertilize it and then they freeze it and then they'll put like 9 or 10 eggs in you
Yeah,
and 1 or 2 of them will attach.
right. Yeah, I have some friends that had that. They did that, and that sounds about right. Yeah, and then they just have to, I think they have to take, like, hormones after that. Like, if they when they become artificially inseminated, they start taking, like, I don't know, maybe, like, testosterone or something on top of that to start stimulating the growth of
Uh,
the egg.
uh, Something else I saw, which was fucking way crazy, um, that I hadn't ever even thought of before, but women who get abortions have a way higher risk of breast cancer.
Really?
I guess if your body starts producing these hormones to prep for the baby,
Mm,
and then when you have an abortion, those hormones stay in the body and don't get used properly, and whatever they are, estrogen or whatever it is that you're producing, they're speculating causes a increase in your chance of cancer. I have heard before that women who have babies have a significantly lower chance of breast cancer.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway, that
Start having
that's the
babies then.
that's the science portion of the show. Boys, y'all did an amazing job this weekend for real. It was so sick to watch. You brought us so deep into the comp with Taylor, Chris stuff, and of course Colton. Keep it up.
Mm,
I thought Dr. Matuthian, Biology 101. Thank you. I am so blown away at what a great job John and Bill did. They were fucking absolutely wonderful. The setup Will Brandstetter did, fucking nuts. Sousa's camera work, your camera work. How hard was it? You jumped right in and killed the camera.
Yeah, I have never touched a gimbal before in my life.
Hey, was it fun? So you could hear us in your ear? You wear an earpiece?
Yeah. So I could just listen to you guys and try to follow along.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the way the other shows work is the commentators are stuck commentating just what the cameramen are showing.
Mm.
And this show, the commentators direct the cameraman. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah. John was directing me all weekend.
Sevon, be honest, John is not a good commentator. No, actually, John's great. Here's the thing with John. Here's the thing. John was still performing like he was on a podcast. And so if he would be like, hey, it's better to put the pill in the front, and Bill would say it's better to put the pill on the back, on a show like that, a broadcast, they need to stop. But then they would keep going back and forth and argue their points while the event was going on. When in that format, since you only have 6 minutes, you don't have just endless amount of time, you can't do that. But once he cracks the code on that, dude, he's going to be fucking great. He's I think he's fucking awesome. He just needs to dial it back on the back and forth.
John
Him and
was
Bill,
awesome.
yeah, I think John's awesome. Except that he missed his I don't know if you guys know what happened, but in the morning, one morning they just left him there. And I think he got upset. But it's like, hey dude, you can't one time Dave Castro did that. It's just one time Dave Castro did that to me. Like he's like, hey, we're leaving to go to the venue at 5:30. And I got there at 5:25. I'm like, where are you? He goes, we left. And I go, but I was supposed to meet at 5:30. He's like, so what? I'm like, okay, got it. So show up 15 minutes early, right?
Right.
And so and it was the same thing when we were at the NorCal Classic. Taylor would define when we would leave. So he'd be like, hey, we're leaving at 8 a.m. And then at 7:45, he's like, hey, I'm leaving. But everyone was ready. We're not all equal. You know what I mean? You have to know your role. Let me tell you guys this. I'm sure most of you already know this, but everyone's always talking shit about you. Always, always, always talking shit. So last night I get a debriefing from 3 people about the dinner they went to. And the shit that they were talking about was Colton. And they said that they went to go pay the check and Colton had paid the check. And so that's the story, right? You get to control your story, what people think about you. And so Colton won the prize money and Colton paid the check. So that's what everyone's saying. People call me on the phone and they're like, dude, we went to dinner and fucking Colton paid. It was so fucking nice of him. It was so fucking cool. You get to decide your story. So I'll tell you another story. The whole weekend when we were at the NorCal Classic, we were on Taylor's time. Then the second the event was over, we went back to the house and it's 9:00 at night. And Colton's like, hey, I'm doing the Rogue Invitational tomorrow, but I need a 90 or 100-pound dumbbell. So I quickly text Blair Morrison. Blair Morrison's like, okay, I'll get you the 100-pound dumbbell. Drive here right now and get it. And so I said that, and Taylor jumped up. This is on Sunday night after competition, goes, I'll get it. And Colton's like, no, I can get it. It's my dumbbell. And Colton's like, Taylor's like, no, you have to work out tomorrow. You just chill. And so although Taylor had been going all fucking weekend, he jumped up and jumped in his car, and we ended up not getting it because it ended up, Blair called us back and said to pick it up in the morning. But those are the stories that people tell. And so if you're at the fucking venue with JR and the event's over and you run off with the athletes to eat with them instead of stick around and clean up, that's the story people are going to tell about you. How you present is the stories people are going to tell about you. So you can be fucking perfect the whole fucking week, but if you fuck up or you do something that's not cool, that's going to be the story about you. You have to you just have to remember everyone's telling a story about you. During the weekend, what's the really attractive girl's name who won? Brittany Weiss. Brittany Weiss.
Brittany Weiss.
Brittany Weiss won the event, and later, someone was accusing someone of talking shit about the shorts she was wearing. And they're like, yeah, Sev on the broadcast was talking shit about her shorts. And it wasn't me. But that's the reputation I have, because that's the story people tell about me, because when Katrin gets new boobs, I'm the first one to be, I'm the only one. And Caleb, sorry, Caleb. We're the only ones to talk about the boobs. And so, of course, if there's some comment about her shorts being really short and exposing, more of her legs than the other girls, it's going to come on me. I get it. I'm not like pissed. I'm not like, fuck you. How dare you think it was me? No, I get why you think it was me. I get it.
She just sold like 10 pairs of shorts, though, for sure.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's really cool.
God, she's awesome. When she comes on the camera, dude, when her and Fee were both on there, man, they're two angels. Fee's an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't. Yeah. She's an angel. Don't you think she's kind of an angel? Her face, she's angelic looking.
Yeah, I agree. She's
like
cool.
a really buff angel.
Yeah, for sure. Like a little muscle.
Hey, she looks stout as fuck when we were doing her in the post interview. Does she look stout in person?
Yeah, she definitely looks, stacked.
That's like she could run through a brick wall.
Yeah, for sure.
She was a running back in high school football. You're like, oh yeah, I could see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the way she looks. Oh, she really is angelic. Yeah, she looked angelic. I hope she flies away from the dark side. I hope she doesn't become one of. Doesn't Satan have angels?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was Satan an angel?
I think technically yes. Wasn't he like cast out from heaven?
Was Satan an angel? Yes, in the Abrahamic religious of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, Satan is traditionally understood to have been an angel who rebelled against God and was cast out of heaven. One of the big agents, promoters.
Oh shit.
They're LSKD. They're LSKD. Sarah Sigmund's daughter designed them.
Sick. Thanks. Yeah, I'll need that for later.
Let me see. Thomas Stroud. Satan was an angel and then took other angels, followed him once he was cast out. Sevon, can you get Olivia on the show again? Kerstetter? Dude, Kerstetter's, what a trip. So I had her on the show once and she talked pretty good. Then I had her on the show a second time after she was at Proven and was living with Brooke and someone else, and she was horrible. She could barely string a sentence together. Then this weekend, she was back to normal again. Did you notice how good her interviews were this weekend?
Yeah, she did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Crazy impressed with her. Kept a smile on her face all week. I'd love to have her on again. Fewer and fewer people are reaching back out to me now when I text them and ask them to come on the show. We're at all-time low.
Like that, huh?
I guess.
Fuck.
It's kind of nice. It's a good excuse not to have people on.
Yeah, you can just do live call-in shows.
Sevon, can you get Ibarra on this week? I'd love to have Ibarra on. Get Laura Horvath back. Get Laura Horvath back on.
I feel like Ibarra talks like Olivia though, so it might be rough.
He really does he doesn't talk so good?
I don't know. Just from what I saw, I was struggle busting it.
There's a promoter, manager, owner, who is flapping his jaw about me in the space. I really hope he stops. I don't want to go to war with him. Well, kind of part of me wants to go to war with him. It would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
Maybe.
He really should stop. Like, he should really, really stop. Like, if you're going to say something about me, just say it either in public or
to you.
Yeah. He tried to say it to me, but he said it to me like he was a friend and he was giving me feedback. But now I'm hearing from other people what he's really saying behind. And I said he called me and we talked, and he was acting a little standoffish, and I said, "Hey, dude, if you're upset with me, just tell me what you're upset with me about, and we can work on it."
Right.
And
As adults do.
right, I said, "You don't have to beat around the bush. Just give it to me." And then now I'm hearing all sorts of crazy shit he's saying, and he should stop. You should stop. If it gets back to you that I'm telling you this, you should stop. Just don't even talk about me or Caleb or anyone in the group unless you have something nice to say, or unless it's like, I mean, if it's true, you can say it. But you better stop, because you're not gonna like it. I promise you're not gonna like it. You and your friends don't have thick skin at all. You and your friends do not have thick skin at all and will not like it.
They're already having a hard time with it.
Yeah, you don't have to be friends with me. You don't have to like me. You can be like, I don't mind if you say, "Hey, it's inappropriate that Sevon talks about people's bodies, or how beautiful Matthias Porter is, or
That
fucking
dude, angelic,
stud, right?
big
Pussy.
stud.
I bet you he's a pussy magnet."
Yeah, that big Greek god body, dude. It's insane.
And I don't care if you say that Taylor looks like a white supremacist, or that we're fucking right-wing fucktard. Like, all that stuff is fine. But the character defamation and like spreading rumors behind my back that just aren't true and shit like that, you stop. Because you have tons of shit. You're such an easy target. And I have a daily show, and I would love to feature you as a McGurk. So stop doing that.
Hey man, if people stop responding to your texts, you got a week, at least.
Well, I don't mind if people don't come on the show. You can I get it. If I get it if you don't want to come on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't texted Brent, not Brent, Mr. Vellner, since the whole PFAA thing went down, and I know I went hard against him, and I would understand if he's like, "Fuck you, I'm never going on your show again." All that, like, just the normal stuff, I understand. But like going out of your way, and like if you're going out of your way to tell J.R. Howell, or I'm just trying to think, this is just an example. This isn't a real example, but just an example. If you're going out of your way to tell J.R. Howell, "Hey, you shouldn't work with Sevon," or you should stop doing that. That's not gonna you're gonna hate it. Just think of the repercussions. You're gonna hate it. You're already upset. Just don't make stuff up. That's it. Just don't make stuff up.
That's a crazy concept.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't coming back. Really, Mel? You think? I think Vellner would come back. I think some of these people are more mature. I think a lot of, well, I don't know.
Vellner's pretty good about that, I feel like.
Yeah, I think he can fight
He's-
and then
He's
come
pretty
back
good at leaning-
together.
Yeah, he's good at leaning into it.
No, Brent's never been on the show. We're not talking about Brent. Brent, those guys don't. I don't hear it. Just to be clear, I don't ever hear, if someone's like, "Hey, Sevon's kissing Dave's ass," or "He's Dave's friend," or "He's biased," all that shit's fine. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm not talking about that shit's all like fair game shit. His CEO shit's stupid, or he shouldn't talk about girls' bodies. Like, that's all in the realm of like, then I can say back to you, why don't you think it's okay to talk about women's bodies? And of course, then no one can explain that. Is it because you hate women's bodies? You don't want me to appreciate women's bodies because you hate women's bodies? Yeah, Vellner's level-headed. He's just a socialist, so he's confused. He's like deeply confused. But other than that, like, Star Wars unveils first look at its first trans woman stormtrooper. Dude, do you want to hear something crazy? I didn't even know stormtroopers were real people. I didn't know there were people inside of those costumes.
That
I mean, like that there were.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I knew there were people inside those costumes, but I
Yeah,
thought those were supposed to be robots.
they're not robots. It's like a bunch of IVF babies of the same person. That's
Serious?
yes. Stormtroopers, I think they're I might be getting stormtroopers and clone troopers mixed up, but I'm pretty sure they're just IVF babies of one guy, and they just made a shitload of them. They're all the same person. So really, there should be no variance of a stormtrooper. They're really fucking up Star Wars, dude.
YouTube user, ugh. I always log on to this podcast expecting the best. Then I hear Pussy Magnet, and I remember where I logged off last time. Logged off? What are you, fucking 80?
You disconnect your fucking
logged
router.
off. I log off every morning.
Yeah.
I took Ari to the bathroom the other day at Cilantro's, and we go in the handicap stall, and he's taking his shit. He's like, "Will you come in there with me?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he takes this shit, and then I see him doing the shake. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "It's kind of stuck." You know, he's like, when the last like little bit, and then I hear it go plop. And I remember being a kid and doing that. I haven't had one of those in 40 years.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Star Wars has what's wrong with Pussy Magnet? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I want you to stay. What do you want me to say? I bet you the women find him very attractive.
They
I bet you
swoon for him.
I bet you he is he's quite the catch. Hardworking, clean, fit,
They flock.
a gentleman. Boy, I bet you he's a real catch. He's a real catch.
Oh yeah, that's good. Nice.
Okay.
Good. You're learning.
Yeah. But isn't Pussy Magnet's just funny, isn't it? I think it's funny.
That's way better.
Star Wars introduced the first transgender stormtrooper in a move that has left fans of the beloved science fiction franchise divided. Named Sister, she is a clad armor painted in blue and pink of the transgender flag and was oh shit, the stormtroopers have color now?
So they have always had color. Like they've had it's been like orange or red or blue. It's just like it was like a job designator basically, or like what they did kind of thing.
Okay.
But now they're just identifying this person as a trans clone, whatever the fuck.
Have you seen this character in a show?
No.
I never even thought of the
watch it.
stormtroopers as having like sexuality. I never thought of them as men or women.
Yeah, they're not. They're all asexual.
And was pictured for the first time in a new book released earlier this week. The dreadlock sporting soldier first appeared in a reference in an earlier 2022 novel, A Queen's Hope, before later being depicted in a piece of fan art.
That's fucking ludicrous, dude.
So that's a black man?
Dude, I don't know.
Now her story and picture has been featured in Star Wars The Secret of the Clone Troopers, which added her to the franchise official lore, but the new characters addition has left fans of the galaxy far, far away saga split, with some branding it utterly insane gender cult worship and moronic, while others raged it was batshit crazy pussy take? I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that word is? Crazy P. Batshit crazy 4-letter word and then take? What is that word? Piss take?
Piss take?
Easy Sevy, Star Wars fans are just waiting for you to say something triggering. I mean, dude, Star Wars is sorry, Caleb. Star Wars is so stupid.
The new stuff is horrible. The old stuff is legit.
I remember when Star Wars used to be about space wizards, epic adventures, and lightsaber combat.
Yeah, that was fun. Those were the days. Back in my day, we just had lightsaber battles and TIE fighter fucking dogfights. Those are the best.
What's that good storytelling? A focus on Thrawn, maybe, or the Force Jedi, the Emperor, or any other stuff? Oh, no, you silly evil bigots, you. I'm talking about the first transgender stormtrooper. Criticizing the move, he added, there was no pushback whatsoever from Disney. Nothing at all. Stunning and brave. The most oppressed minority truly is the one that gets it every single time it asks for anything at all. Another person on social media added, no, I think pedophiles are the worst oppressed minority. You see how they use that word, worst oppressed minority, and that's supposed to invoke some sort of emotional shit and shut down your critical thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this has nothing to do with an oppressed minority at all. Sister was first introduced in the 2022 book Queen's Hope, having been created on the planet Camino to fight for the Galactic Republic. Are all the stormtroopers bad guys? They are, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I don't even recognize them. They got that.
They
Those
used
are
to be good guys.
stormtroopers. Oh, they
Correct.
did.
Yeah, they used to be good guys because they were the whole army was built to like help the Jedi basically. And then I think Emperor Palpatine or somebody took over the army and started using them against the Jedi and execute Order 66. And then all
Are
of
there
it
any black stormtroopers?
I think they're all actually mixed. Like they're like the guy that they created him off of is a mixed guy.
No, but I mean, are any of their outfits black? Are they all white? Always white armor.
Yeah. If you're a TIE fighter pilot, you wear a black one, black armor.
And so so those things pee and eat.
Yeah. They're like full blown humans.
So at night, all those guys take all their shit off and go to bed in like bunk beds, like on a battle cruiser.
Right.
God, I like this Star Wars so much. Like, I just saw the first 3 or whatever the 3 were that came out when I was a kid. 4, 5, and 6, or 6, 7, and 8, or whatever, whichever one's at 4, 5, 6, 7. And I liked it. I just filled in that gap of what they did. I just thought they stacked them in a room at night and plugged them in. That's one too? Oh, that's the guy?
I think that's the original. I'm pretty sure that's the original clone trooper. Jango
He's
Fett.
Mexican?
Yeah, maybe.
That makes sense. They're just normal people.
Right.
Heidi Kroom, I'll fill in your gap and plug you in, Sevi. Thank you. Heidi, please, someone's going to log off. All right.
Disconnect your dial-up.
Trannies. So, yeah, I just pictured the stormtroopers not even having any like thoughts of their own or anything. I thought it was just like, hey, guard Darth Vader, or kill that guy, or this is your section.
That's pretty much how it is. I don't think they actually think for themselves.
I saw 4 21 times in the theater. Carlos, I think I did something like that too. I think I saw like 4. I think I saw all of them like 7 times in the theater.
Wow.
Yeah, I even remember the theater I went to. It was in a shopping mall.
Oh,
I remember the video. Yeah, I remember the video games there and all that shit. I think the first one came out. I think I saw it when I was 5. The first one. It was in the theater fucking forever.
Wow.
This is great. Did you see? You know how for those of you who didn't follow the story, basically Trump had borrowed money from the Deutsche Bank in Germany 21 times. 20 times. And he'd borrowed the money and paid it back 20 times. And on the 21st time, he also borrowed money and he paid it back. And when he borrowed that money, he told them, hey, I want to borrow it against this building. And he said the building was worth 400 million. And I guess the building's only worth 200 million or something like that, along those lines. But he paid the money back, and it was no big deal. Well, for the first time ever in New York State history, there was no formal complaint filed. There was no loss of money. No one was defrauded. But the city of New York, state of New York, brought a case against Trump and said, hey, you lied on your loan application. And the Deutsche Bank even came forward and is like, hey, we don't care. We didn't lend him the money based on his application. We lent him the money based on the fact that he borrowed money from us 20 times and paid it back already. And so this 21st time he paid it back. Why are you doing this? Well, so he goes to court and Letitia James tries the case, and he goes, this is pretty long, but it's worth seeing. And he has to pay $450 million in fines. Well, look how, so of course he appeals it, right?
Right.
And it goes to the appeals court. And at the appeals court, there were 5 judges there on the appeals court. And now these 5 judges are like, what the fuck? And now they're thinking about putting sanctions against Letitia James and the judge who tried the case.
Oh no, looks like it's been a very bad week for Laquifa. It seems that this extremist nut job of a judge and Laquifa's political persecution of a presidential candidate is a...
Her tits are amazing. I don't know what her lips are doing, though. Did you see her
face
lips?
is fucked up.
Yeah. Great set of hammers, though.
About to backfire.
Wouldn't you like to know how big Katrin's tits are? Like, just know if they're a C or a B. And they first look like B's, but now in that floating, when she's floating on her back, they look like C's.
Yeah. She probably didn't get that much bigger than what she already had.
Dude, she had nothing.
Yeah, but like naturally she doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Not only is an appeals court going to overturn all of the silly charges that Laquifa slung at the Donald, but she will likely be sanctioned or possibly charged with election interference. Let's hope that this political operative posing as a judge is held to account for his role in this election interference. Yet for some strange reason, the lamestream media isn't reporting on this appeals case. Could it be that our media is biased? The best part of a Trump victory is going to be watching all these liberal reporters cry about how unfair it is for the next 4 years. Oh, author, you and Laquifa did all that corrupt work for nothing. Hope it was worth it.
So the Trump fraud case went before the appellate court this week, and by the time it was over, the closing arguments of the Democrat lawyers was just them begging to not get sanctioned. So look, many people aren't aware that the Trump fraud case went before the appeals court this week. And if you don't know how an appeals court works, there are 5 judges that sit in judgment for these cases. And they basically let the prosecution and the defense both lay out their cases. And their job is to consider whether or not the case was worth hearing in the first place. And it went so badly for the Democrat lawyers.
By the way, you can watch all of that. It's fucking crazy. I watched it. It's unbelievable. The judges are just completely dumbfounded. They're like, wait, can you give us one example where anyone's ever been tried like this before? And they can't. They're like, this law has been in the books 100 years and no one's ever been tried on it. And the ones that are kind of adjacent cases that are similarly tried like this one, the person either didn't pay the money back. Well, that was the thing every time. There was fraud involved. This time there was just no fraud involved. And none of the parties were disgruntled.
That by the end of it, their closing arguments was just them begging to not get sanctioned. So they argued a ton of different things throughout this case. But the biggest thing was the judges kept interrupting them. They kept saying, hold on. Can you find me one other time in history where the person who took the loan was able to call the bank that they took the loan from, and then that bank showed up and said, we weren't defrauded? And the lawyers spent like 2 hours trying to find one little instance where it happened. But then the judges said, okay, let's try something else. They said, hey, have you ever prosecuted someone for lying about the value of a property when it resulted in the entire loan being paid back with interest? And again, they gave them like 2 hours to try to explain their case, and they still couldn't produce a single case where that had happened. And then the judges said, hey, you know what? We'll give you another shot. They said, have you ever seen an attorney general prosecute a case where there was no damage to the public? There was no damage to the person you said was defrauded, and there was no actual malice committed by the person who took the loan. And then they took another like 6 hours on that one. And by the end of it, the judges were like, so you don't have any instance of that happening. And then by the time they were done, the judges were like, I don't even know if this is a case that should have been brought. And they said, look, y'all might need to be sanctioned for bringing this case in a malicious manner. One of the judges actually said, I have come to believe that since a case like this has never been brought in the history of the country, not only New York, that you have only brought this case because the person was running for president, which would put you afoul of not only multiple regulations regarding the law, but would also run you afoul of electioneering interference. In fact, at the end of it, when they got to give their closing arguments, instead of arguing the value of their case, instead of arguing that like we should have been able to bring this case because of X and Y and all this shit, they actually just said at the end, we hope that the court will take into account that lawyers need to be able to bring cases like this without the threat of sanction. Basically, they were saying, we hope that you decide that we're not going to get in trouble for bringing this bullshit case. That was what happened at the appellate court. So Trump being found guilty of fraud and having to pay 500 some odd million fucking dollars, and the whole left celebrating about that, he's going to get all that money back.
How is that? How is any of that even real? What did he lie about? Supposedly, he said that the building was worth. You know when you go into file a loan, and he was using one of his get a loan. He was using one of his buildings as collateral, and he overstated the value of the asset that he was borrowing money against. I'm sure no one's ever done that before. I mean, how is that even on him? Wouldn't your whole goal is to present your property as valuable as possible so you can get the best loan?
Right. Does he have to have somebody value it, or he just knows the value of it?
I'm sure there was some process, right? I mean, I can't just tell I don't think I can just tell my bank, hey, my house is worth $20 million, lend me 18. I mean, they must send someone out to also be a part of the valuation. They ended up responding. One of the things the bank said is like, hey, another reason why this case doesn't make sense is we didn't even take into consideration his collateral. We were looking at his loan history. This was our 21st loan with him. And that's why we Nick B says, an appraisal.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Doesn't the bank underwrite and agree before the approval? Yeah, all of that.
It's also it's Deutsche Bank. They're not like a small bank. It's not like he went to the local credit union and asked for a bunch of money and said, "Oh yeah, this is how much it costs." And they were like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
The judge and the lawyer were political pawns, just another chess piece. I find it's so. Can you imagine this? I just can't imagine them actually doing that. Because the stress on an attorney for trying a fake case like that must be fucking insane. How do you go to bed at night? I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
You're just perpetually lying.
Yeah. And hurting someone.
For hours.
Unless the loan's for the property, you don't need the appraiser. Bank literally didn't appraise because of history and relationship. I find that hard to believe, but I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, maybe.
It goes to loan committee. Mike McCaskey, the poor small bank was duped by Trump, the criminal mastermind. Yeah.
Smart guy.
They believe he is evil. They sleep like a baby.
That's a good point too.
I don't know how he gets through his days.
Yeah, I mean, you're just perpetually in threat of being assassinated, and you're constantly having to fight lawsuits for bullshit.
Here's remember earlier when we were talking about like, hey, everyone's telling a story about you.
Yeah.
You get to choose the story. Here you go. Look at this is Joe DeSena. This is the guy who found Spartan Race. This is Hunter's buddy.
Okay.
He says his neighbor was a mob boss.
neighbor was the head of the Banana organized crime family, and he saw my family was going through a divorce. I was with my dad's in the summer. His name was Joe, and he said, come over on Saturday and clean my pool. I'll pay you $35. And so I didn't know what I was doing, but I went over there and he taught me some business lessons. He said, on time is late. I told you to be here at 8. You should be here at 7:45. He said, I'm going to ask you to clean the pool. You're going to get paid to clean the pool. But if you straighten up the lawn furniture, clean the shed, do the window, do all these other things you're not getting paid for, you will be recommended and we will build a big business for you. They needed somebody they could trust in the backyard. And then number 3, don't have your hand out, to your point. Don't be looking for return right away. Do the right thing. Lean in, help out. You'll get paid. Don't worry about it. My neighbor was the head of the Banana organized crime family.
Yesterday, a guy sends me a fucking DM, and it's a picture of him and his wife and his 3 daughters with Rich Froning. And then there's a huge long paragraph.
Oh,
And I know. But I read it because there's a picture of Rich Froning. And
right.
He says he was in Virginia this weekend and he walked into a coffee shop and with his family, and Rich was there with a bunch of people. And he said they were drinking coffee and he was basically eyeballing Rich the whole time, and he wanted to go over and talk to Rich and say hi and get a picture with him, but he didn't want to interrupt him.
Mm.
And then he said, so they finish their coffee and they leave. And as they're leaving out the door, Rich walks out with him and starts chatting him up. So Rich saw the guy eyeballing him, got up, went out of his way, went and said hi to the guy, took a picture with his family, and the guy sent it to me. And he's like, dude, he's the fucking nicest human being ever.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the
That's
story.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, and that's the story. Now, obviously, Rich didn't do that not thinking, okay, now this guy's going to send it to a podcast, and then that podcast is going to say about me. It's just the fucking right thing to do. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying it would be the wrong thing to do if he didn't get up and do it. Like if he was in the middle of a conversation or he had a bad day.
Yeah. Like, hey, he's busy. He's got a bunch of people around him.
But fuck, dude, he won the game 4 times as an individual and whatever 6,000 times as with the team. And it's like, hey, the only value to that now is to to be kind to other people, right? Make other people's days better.
That was awesome.
Manny C. Serrano. That's why Rich is the GOAT. Yeah.
True.
Would Matt do that? Matt would probably do that. You know, I hear tons of good stories. I hear tons of good stories of not very nice things Matt does too.
Really?
I do. Remember those guys that we would talk to who were in prison for life? Oh yeah. And they're like, yeah, Matt calls us once a week or something like that. It was something pretty crazy. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
I do remember that.
I was like, wow. And I don't see Matt stroking himself for that.
Yeah, you're right. He's pretty cool for that.
Would Sevon or Caleb do that?
I would just think that I had fucking toothpaste on my face or something, and you were just looking at me like I'm an idiot. So,
if you were wearing a CEO shirt, if anyone I saw wearing a CEO shirt, I'd walk over and give a big hug to.
Okay, yeah.
Other than that, fuck you. If you don't buy a shirt, I ain't saying hi to you. So it looks like Trump's going on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I heard about that. After Kamala just went on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, you think that would played a big role?
No, I just think that Kamala going on Call Her Daddy is hilarious.
You're doing a lot of podcasts recently. One that I would love to see you on is, I think Joe Rogan has to have you on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Oh, sure, I would.
I think Joe, like, besides us, Joe's.
I think I'm doing it. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are going to do Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I am.
Joe Rogan's the best in the game for sure, and I think.
Yeah.
You know,
did Joe become so well known because of the UFC, and he does a great job with that, right?
I think that's a dig.
Really?
I do.
At Joe?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because he's saying my boy Dana made it famous.
Oh.
I'm reading into it. I know I'm reading into it.
It's like you got a cute little podcast. That's nice. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What was it that made Joe the best?
During COVID, you know, he was very outspoken.
Bullshit! Bullshit. Love you, Joe, but you were a fucking world-class pussy when it came to COVID. You were a chicken shit bitch. And let me tell you why. Here's the thing. If you were outspoken, and like if your YouTube channel didn't get suspended at least once, you weren't outspoken. And I saw him dancing around it and dancing around it and dancing around it. Yeah, Joe was weak sauce during COVID. I know he was. Now listen, he may have been one of the first to come out, but fuck, man, he was fucking light years behind us. Yeah, that is Joe is afraid of as fuck of COVID. Yeah. And he just wouldn't come out and say, hey, like it took him forever to come out and say that it's a fat motherfucker's disease. Monkeypox is a homosexual disease from what I know. COVID deaths are a fat motherfucker's disease for what I know. Like just say it. And I would watch him dance around it and I'd be like, Jesus, Joe, come on. This is getting embarrassing. And now he's leading the way. Good on him. I mean, he flipped. I'm not hating on him, but like, don't say he's one of the first.
On all the corruption going on during COVID. And I think that's personally when I started watching him a lot too. And just he's an honest guy too, right?
He is.
So I think
Good guy.
And I think you guys together.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think Joe's honest and a good guy.
Yeah.
Would
And
just
he's got a good voice. That's important.
yeah. You're doing a lot of podcasts recently. One that I would love to see you on.
Happy Daddy. What is that?
Beer. Happy
Oh,
Dad.
they have a chew. Is that a chewing tobacco? They have a chewing tobacco?
Yeah, maybe. What is that, Nelk Boys?
Yeah, I think.
Bet you
I
it's
reckon-
just that like Zen pouch type thing.
I've watched like four of their podcasts in full length. I watched one with Elon. I think I watched 2 with Trump. I really liked them. They got this weird looking Ethiopian dude who sits on the couch with them. He's got this other guy. Didn't they used to have another guy that got kicked off of YouTube on their team and now he's on Rumble? Sam I Am or Sam Will Do It.
Sam will do it. Yep. Sam will do it.
I liked him too. I like those guys.
Oh, here you go. Happy Dad is seltzer with electrolytes.
Does that mean there's alcohol in it?
Yeah. Seltzers are alcoholic.
Alcohol's for losers.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve will do it. Steve will do it.
Oh.
What did we
Of course
say?
David
Sam will
knows
do
who
it. Did he do steroids? He got like real buff and his face broke out.
Steve will do it.
Yeah.
Probably.
If I close my eyes and think of that dude, he's smiling. He always seems like he's like a positive force. I like those
He's
guys.
like a Jersey Shore character.
Yes, he did. Did he admit to doing it? Dude, I think Andrew Schultz is so funny, and his podcast with Trump was amazing. I think as a person, he's maybe, I don't know. He comes across a little bit to me as intellectually and spiritually just weak as fuck. But man, his interview with Trump was amazing. Going back to the fake boob thing. Let me start here. Let me just dig in here. Sevi, what's with the drag queen glasses? These? These are drag queen glasses? Doing these?
It's better ish. I don't know. They look fine.
I have so many glasses. I think they're all over there on that tool bench over there. What makes them drag queen glasses? This different color up top?
Yeah, probably.
I had this, I've told you about this before. I had this friend who was a short guy, my size, maybe shorter, and he was crazy buff and yoked. And I remember him, actually 2 friends. I've seen this twice now with 2 wives. And I've seen both their wives right in front of their husbands talk about how they don't like skinny, wimpy guys. And both the husbands were on a lot of fucking testosterone, like a fucking lot. And I was thinking to myself, like, I didn't like that because you're basically supporting your husband getting on lifetime regimen of drugs. And you're basically saying that you wouldn't like it if he got off those drugs. And me personally, I wouldn't want to be with a woman who had that, like, would like me more if I did drugs. And I would feel the same way about a man who's like trying to talk his wife into getting fake tits. Like, you're asking your wife to cut herself open and put in some sort of foreign object into her body and carry it around so you can live out the delusion that she really has big, wonderful titties.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I would want to. Do you feel that or no?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's different than saying like, "Hey, honey, I don't know. I don't know. I like it that my wife works out. I like it that she eats healthy. Like, I like it because she looks beautiful. But I like it more than that, significantly more than that. I like it because it's an inspiration for me. Right? I want to be around a like-minded person.
Right.
I just can't imagine.
Work out every day, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just can't imagine putting pressure on a woman to get titties at all. By the way, in no way am I suggesting that that's what Katrin's husband did to her or any husband. But I know that there are husbands who do that out there, right? Or there's guys out there who are like, "Hey, let me buy you some titties."
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to support. I don't. I just don't like it. I don't want to. I couldn't be with someone like that. That would be such a fucking deal breaker for me if my and here's the thing too. You might even want your wife to get huge, big, fake titties, but you got to push it down. You got to deal with it. You got to transcend it. You can't let it come out of your mouth.
Right.
Which is different than her if she just wants them.
Right.
And I could fucking start being super hyper judgmental about that too, but I'm not. I'm just gonna leave it at like, find someone who accepts you for who you are. Try to make them better with resources that keep them healthy. Sevan, I know the real reason it's fashion. They want to look like the models in the magazines. Well, maybe I'll tell you what. It's crazy. Those outfits that those girls with fake titties can wear who have good bodies are crazy, right? Like, they can just put in a tube. They can wear just like a tube dress and just like nothing else. They can just go braless all the time. They can wear those crazy tube tops that fuck up other girls' chicks and make them look like they're down by their belly button. They can wear those. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it could be just a confidence boost. Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah.
I wonder.
And what would go ahead?
I wonder if like a reason for people getting fake tits is so that they don't have to wear bras anymore. Because I feel like women hate wearing bras.
There's probably tons of, this is going to be mean.
Sure there's a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, tons of justifications. It could just be a confidence boost. Yeah, what would be the confidence boost of getting a big old set of titties? Because the confidence would come from, like, for me, a confidence boost would come from being just a fucking master of the Constitution.
Like the
Do you know what I mean?
Constitution?
Yeah, like if I just had that shit fucking down pat, and anytime someone said something about that I felt was remotely infringing on our fucking liberty, I could just fucking slice them and dice them.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, a confidence boost is a fucking full tank of gas.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You pull out of the gas station, you're like, fuck you, I could go places.
That's right.
You know?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full fridge, confidence boost.
The confidence boost for me is I don't know. But those things are confidence boosts for me. Like being intellectually equipped, and having some stability, right? Full tank of gas. Like before I went to Newport, I got a new pair of tires on my van. That was a fucking I got new tires on the van, anytime flat. So if you get flat, you can still drive 60 miles an hour for 80 miles. And I had my credit card was paid off. I could get whatever the fuck I wanted. I could buy a $27 bag of beef jerky if I wanted. Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
But a set of titties for a girl, that would give her a confidence boost. Because why? Because
you got a fat set of titties. You're
yeah,
hotter than all the other women.
yeah. What I mean, the fucked up, the thing that I struggle with, the paradox is me, is I love a big fucking fat set of titties, fake or real. But the problem is that I'm intellectually opposed to fake titties. So I have real problems. Hi. Enlighten me, please. Oh, fake booty though I cannot tolerate. A fake ass, that's where I draw the line. I have no interest in a fake ass. Caller, hi.
Hi. I got a titty story.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I got a huge set of fake titties. That'd have been a great opening. Okay, go ahead.
Well, just as it relates to like confidence and big boobs. So I used to be like a double H. Like I used to have huge boobs.
Oh my God.
And
I know. I felt movement down below. God.
I felt.
And I had
sorry for you.
I had no self-confidence. I was so just, I did not feel good on my own body. You know, I've also had 4 kids. So like, you know, I breastfed all 4 of my kids. I've had a lot of body changes, but now I've gone from like a double H to like, I'm between like a B and a C. And CrossFit actually helped me lose a ton of body fat, lose a bunch of weight, which definitely contributed to the smaller boob size. But I'm way more confident in my body now as like a BC than I ever was as a double H. So I think it just probably depends on the person. I can also move a lot better.
Oh, why do you think that is? Did you not like the attention?
Now?
Yeah, I've known girls.
I hated it.
You hated the attention.
I hated the attention. I feel like that's all that people saw when they looked at me. I would never wear tight fitting clothes. I was always trying to conceal them. They were, I mean, like used to have to wear like 2 sports bras at a time because I couldn't exercise with how big they were. I mean, I was miserable. I was miserable. So yeah, and I felt like that's all that people saw when they looked at me, and like anything that came out of my mouth, like was just, you know, fell by the wayside.
They did that's the truth.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. You had
Now,
you had wonderful giant boobs, and dudes were just like, wow.
Now my husband loved them when they were that big, but I still like to think. I mean, he tells me that he likes them now, even though they're a lot smaller. But I think if he could go back in time, I'm sure there'd be. I'm sure he wouldn't mind it terribly for a day.
I did. Someone said Sevi's looking up H boobs now. I was looking up H boobs.
They're massive. They're massive. You just can't buy any bra offline. Like you've got to go get like professionally fitted. Like they're really, really expensive. It was a huge pain in the ass, honestly. And I'm so much happier now. I can wear regular bras, 1 sports bra at a time.
Did when you got pregnant and they were producing milk, did they get even bigger?
That was like at the biggest. That was with I had twins, and I was producing milk for twins, and that's when they were at their largest, for sure. And then over time they just shrunk down. But feeding 2 babies off your boobs, you produce a lot of milk. And
holy fuck.
Hey, that's happened to my wife too. I can't even believe, but I fully took advantage of it. It was the craziest fucking 9 months. It was fucking nuts. They were massive when she had twins. But let me ask you this: did you have to drink a shitload of water to keep H boobs filled and feeding, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, with breastfeeding and milk production, yes, water is important. Electrolytes are important, but even more so, the more that you pump, the more milk you produce. So that's a common misconception that people think they need to be drinking like 2 gallons of water a day to keep up milk supply. When the most important thing, it's a supply and demand thing with milk supply. So the more that you empty, the more your body is signaled to make more milk. So like power pumping is a good idea. I'll give you a breastfeeding 101, Savan.
My wife just fed on demand, but I just remember she was like always thirsty. She was insatiable. She was just an eating and drinking machine.
Yes.
But she
yeah,
did feed
yep.
on she did feed on demand, and she didn't sleep for months. I mean, there was always someone feeding, either the boys or me.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone's always on the tit for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with two of them.
Hey, so what happens?
But now,
what do you think happens? So girls who don't have boobs and then they get boobs, they're really excited about them. They enjoy that attention.
I think, it really saddens me when people feel the need to change their body to that degree. I would hope they would, do it for themselves. But, I'm a firm believer that God made us exactly who we were supposed to be, right? And so to alter your body to that degree, to have surgery and to have, saline implants. Plus, I think that, what do they say? There's massive repercussions potentially when you get fake boobs, right? Like you've seen people almost get like autoimmune diseases. Their body like rejects the implants. So like scar tissue like surrounds it. Implants can pop. I feel like the risk to reward is just, it's not there. It's just not there. I feel kind of bad for those people. I wish that they could be happy in their own skin and, embrace who God made them to be, exactly who they were.
So when someone says they're doing it for confidence, they're doing it because you think that confidence comes externally because they're getting greater acceptance from men.
From other people, yeah. And at the end of the day, the only acceptance you need is from God. That's the only judgment that matters. What other people think, it truly does not matter. And that took me many, many years to realize. I've gotten a lot deeper in my faith over the last 3 years. I wish I would have had, the confidence today, in my BC boobs as I did when I was in my double H boobs. But I think that a lot of that confidence is rooted in my faith in God. So that could definitely be a contributing factor, probably the biggest factor, actually.
How long have you been with your husband?
We have been together. We've been married 12 years this October, but we've been together for 15 years.
And how many kids do you have?
We have 4 children,
Wow.
9, 7, and my twins are 3.
Wow,
Holy
congratulations. That's amazing. I was trying to picture trying to picture the first time your husband saw your boobs when he took your bra off. He must have just, holy fuck.
He was very excited, yes. And all of his friends were very excited too for him.
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
But
were you both religious when you got married? Were you both religious when you got married?
We're both Catholic, and we were both baptized Catholic, and we had a Catholic wedding, but we really didn't find ourselves back to church until COVID, when our daughter was supposed to start her kindergarten year at public school, and then all the public schools went to shit and shut down. So we actually pulled her from public school and enrolled her in the Catholic school that's up the street from me, because they were the only school in town offering a full-time in-person program. And my in-laws are now retired, but they were elementary school educators, and they were telling us, like, the kindergarten year is hands down the most important year of their elementary school. Like, you guys cannot fuck this up, right? So we opted to, just bite the bullet and pay private school tuition. So that's actually where we've grown immensely in our faith. It's really brought us back to church. And, now we pray all the time together as a family. We talk about God all the time. It's very much a family oriented thing. So no, we were not always, I guess, religious in my husband and I in our relationship. That has evolved and changed over time together.
Hey, that's really cool. You're I don't know if fortunate's the right word, but I'll use it anyway. You're really fortunate that you guys are on the same page and 4 kids. Congratulations. Your kids are really lucky that they have you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've taken up enough time, so I'll let you guys go. Thank
All right.
you for taking
Thank
my
you.
call.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 H titties. The pictures are crazy.
I don't know how you handle that.
He was fucking in heaven.
Probably just drowning them.
They get them to distract the attention away from being batshit crazy.
That's reasonable.
Share your screen. They if there was something I thought was shareable, I'd have shared it. It was just, you know what happens if you type in H boobs? It's just like bra companies. Like she said, bras are hard to find. So it's all people just trying to peddle bras. I bet you if there's a chart online somewhere of bra sizes growing, bra sizes must be just exploding as everyone just gets so fat. Exerciser, are boob augmentations attached? Oh yeah, where is our exerciser logo? Are boob augmentations a tax write-off if you're an OnlyFans model? I have to assume yes. Right? Oh, there we go. Isn't that Susan made one for each side? Kind of cool, right?
Nice. I like it.
Where's I want to see what Janelle's writing. All I see is that David says you're wrong, Janelle, and then I know she must be right. Let me see. By the way, if you do get boobs, don't get them like on sale or anything.
On sale.
You know what I
Buy
mean?
one, get one free.
Yeah. Like don't get anything.
titties.
Don't do any discount surgeries.
Buy one, get one half off when you shop at sales.
Be clear, if you're in a state where hurricanes often strike, like Florida or the Gulf Coast or into Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
Oh.
Everything is more complicated if you're not vaccinated and a hurricane or natural disaster hits. Let me be clear. If you're in a state where hurricanes often strike, like Florida or the Gulf Coast or into Texas, a vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
No shit, huh?
How do you say that without explaining that?
Fuck, I don't know.
Like you got to explain that.
What do you mean by that, President?
Yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm not connecting the dots. How is getting vaccinated important during a?
Because the water that comes up and washes through your streets is gross and probably carries COVID, and you'll probably drink it and then you'll die.
Damn, I would really like to hear him say all that. That'd be awesome. I got fake boobs in 2015. Send photo, please. And my surgeon died of cancer 3 months later. Holy shit.
Are those connected?
Disseldinger. I need someone anecdotally to call me and just be like, yeah, I was the A and I got C's and I just started attracting all these really cool guys. My kids went to a jiu-jitsu tournament. I haven't shown the video yet. It's fucking savage.
Yeah? How'd they do?
Dude, they've already just fucking destroyed kids. I want to show you I want to show the footage of I wonder how I do this. I want to show the footage of in his final match. He went against a kid. He had to go up a weight class. And no one ever beats this kid. And Ari had never fucking wrestled him. I want to see if I can find it. God, it's so fucking crazy. When I was a kid, there was this joke that people would show their home movies when guests would come over, and everyone would be like, "Oh fuck, really? No one wants to see your home movies." So this is probably,
throw it up on the VHS tape.
Yeah, this or slides. They would show slides, the slide carousel.
Oh God.
You want to fucking blow your brains out. So this is probably one of those segments. If you don't want to see my home videos, probably now is a good time to go to the bathroom or something.
Home videos.
And downloads. Oh, it's still receiving the video. Hey, what's up, dude? Hey,
can I join you guys?
oh yeah.
All right, I'll be on in a second.
Hey, did you already do your house thing?
Yeah, I just did that back.
Oh, how was it? Did they accept your bid?
Oh, well, we're already under contract. It was just an inspection.
Oh shit. So you're getting
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, here, let me come join you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
That was Chris Ibarra.
Whoa.
Yeah. Where's God, I have so many fucking things open from the weekend. Wait, where's downloads? You guys are gonna love this. If you're into jiu-jitsu, you're gonna fucking where the fuck is the finder window?
You'll love
If you're
it
into-
whenever he pulls it up.
If you're into jiu-jitsu, you're gonna fucking absolutely love this. Let me see if I can. Oh shit. Okay, here we go. So you can look how little he. My Jesus Christ Almighty. We're about to show a fight. Hello.
What?
Hey.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, while the video loads, like, did I send an accidental dick pic? I made a home video one time with my wife, and I didn't rewind it all the way, and I recorded my first jiu-jitsu tournament on it. I gave it to my jiu-jitsu instructor to watch, and he got about 6 seconds of my ass walking to the bed.
Wow. That's awesome.
Make sure you rewind that shit all the way. That's my luck.
Hey, how did he tell you? Hey, dude, you sent me. Hey, did he see any pumps in or a blowjob or anything? Or no? Then the match started.
No, he just literally seen my bright white ass walking past the camera over to the bed.
And then the match started.
And then the match started.
Did he say something to you?
Hell yeah, you did. Would you say something to me if I did that?
Yeah, I would be so bummed if it stopped after 6 seconds too. Hey, if my buddy sent me a tape of him and it was supposed to be one thing and it ended up him banging his wife, I'd fully watch it.
So the other question is, do you think any of my friends saved that dick pic I sent?
Yes. I save
For
all.
sure.
Yeah, I say. Well, I shouldn't say save all of them, but yeah, they for sure saved it. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
guys have a
somewhere
good
in my
one.
phone I have Taylor's dick and butt somewhere.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys have a good one, bud.
All right, thank you.
Talk to you. Bye.
I tell my kids anything you send for anything you text or send, the whole world sees. Okay, so look at he's 12 pounds smaller than this kid, and this kid's 8 and my kid's 7. And this kid's fucking undefeated. Look at him. Look at that kid's calf. Can you see the size difference?
Yeah, it's pretty significant for kids.
Hey, and he just beat up my other son.
Oh,
So he just beat up Joey.
okay.
Oh no.
So
Sorry. He hadn't beat. No. Sorry. I'm thinking of another match. So first they wrestled Gi, and my son took gold, but my kid was in the weight class below this weight class for Gi, and then there was no one for him to wrestle in no Gi. That's when they don't wear the pajamas and you just fight the kid.
Right.
And so he had to go up a weight class to get any matches.
Oh, he's crushing him. I taught him that.
So good. Look how he's just on the attack nonstop.
Shit. Pressure.
I would have just told Ari to kick him right in the balls right there. Just end him.
Take a knee and just slice it through his fucking groin.
Dude, look at him just getting kicked in the face there, just getting his face grinded on that kid's heel. And that kid's going for an armbar under there. And then boom, straight to the double leg, like fuck
Damn.
you.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro,
you.
fucking crushing Ari. Hell yeah, Ari.
Sneaks out the back.
It's a good shot of the judges
Back to the
table.
double leg. Doesn't even care. Kid's got 12 pounds on him. Fucking no fucks given.
Oh, there it is.
No, yeah, take his back, dude. Take him from the rear.
He's down by 2. I'm yelling at him, Ari, you got to score. He's like, fuck that. I ain't scoring.
Oh.
Smell that dick.
Nice. Attack, attack.
He's got swag, dude.
Yeah, just surfing that kid. Get your head out of there, dude. Get your fucking head out of there if I fuck you up.
It looks, never mind. Oh, shit. There
You
it
get
is.
you get points if you get the hooks in. Going for rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
how big that fucking kid is.
Ari's a
Kid-
savage.
Kid already took gold in his other weight class in gi. He thought for sure he was gonna win. That's me yelling, you better stop it. He's gonna break his fucking arm.
Oh!
Damn.
Go cry. He's about to cry.
Yeah, he
Ari
is,
cries
dude.
too. Ari comes off bawling, dude.
Holy shit.
Why did
bro.
Ari cry?
Oh my god.
Wow, dude. What a little savage.
Have you guys been talking about Katrin's love bags already? Because I see somebody in the comments
Babe.
talking about breast implants.
It's basically been the last hour just talking
Yeah.
about Katrin's.
Are those
Hey.
flotation devices?
What's up, dude? Good to hear from you.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I figured that I've never called into this before. Why not? You know?
Dude, great to hear from you. Did you get any chance to see the competition this weekend?
Oh yeah, watch the whole thing.
What do you think about the state of the sport and this tension between Taylor and Mr. Ibarra? You like it?
We're probably gonna have to have a conversation with him when he gets back.
With with who?
With Chris. We're probably gonna have to have a little heart combo about it.
Jacob, it's
Yeah.
Mr. Jacob Hebner. Damn, I didn't know who this was.
Hey, dude.
Hey, how do I see who's on the call with me? Because I'm just calling a phone number. I've never done this before, so I just see a number. But
I'm just on the screen. I'm in the show. You should be able to. Are you watching the TV?
If you go to YouTube, you can see it's me and Caleb and Taylor.
oh, Taylor, how are you, dude?
I'm good. So he's trying to stir up some. I had no idea who this was, and so he was asking that question, waiting for me to say something probably I wouldn't have said if I would have known it was you on the call. So I'm glad I just kept my mouth shut.
Hey, I thought, does he train with you, Jacob?
Yeah, so backstory. So Chris, I met him, gosh, it would have been, hold on, I'm actually getting this screen live over here.
I thought he was an
I met
HWPO athlete. That was a joke. I thought he was an HWPO athlete.
Well, no, he is, but I mean, like, the funny thing is like, we actually we made this joke with Chris before. I don't think HWPO knew who he was until he actually qualified or was doing well at semifinals this past year at StubHub Center.
Yeah, Carson.
So I
yes,
don't
sir.
think so we actually had a good kick about it because we're like, oh, now they're going to post about him. It's like, you didn't even know who's on the team, which I get it. Every athlete in the beginning when they start off is like that, right? Like I was in the same at one point where people were like, oh, who's this freaking chump? And then they're like, oh, he's on our team. He's doing well. They claim you when you're doing well kind of thing. So it happens.
He's actually a JHPO athlete. Jacob Hebner pays off.
yeah, exactly. But he showed up and I met him at a local competition, and he ended up his girlfriend. Taylor called his boy. Dude, I've never laughed so hard yesterday in my life when I was watching the live stream.
Oh wow, we were going at it.
But he actually do chiropractic school out here in Kansas City, and so he trains out of my barn probably, I'd say, like 70% of the time usually.
He's something else, man. He came on the scene pretty strong. He looked great at the West Coast, and then he looked great this weekend too. And it was a great pressure cooker to be there with Taylor and Colton for him. I'm sure a great experience.
Yeah, it was good. I'm glad he went. I'm glad. Well, actually, so I had 3 people out of my barn go. Well, Olivia's not really in the barn; she's at college, right? But Liv, Chris Ibarra, and then Justin Rhodes go out. Justin, we'll get to the point, I guess, the story pretty quickly. But like, Justin actually has an excuse for being out of shape. That old boy, he's actually been legitimately. How like people say, "Oh yeah, I'm building my house," but they have a contractor building it. Justin's legitimately building his house.
He's Amish?
No, dude, he's just a handyman by heart. He can do everything. That dude is actually building his house. So if anyone had an excuse for like, "Hey, I'm out of shape because I'm literally building my own house," it's Justin.
And by the way, Olivia's attitude was absolutely fantastic. Was that just a veneer, or was she? Oh, thanks, Taylor. Or was she really? Is she really that cool and chill? I didn't see her break down at all. She didn't have the best weekend, but anytime I saw her, or we talked to her, she was positive and smiling. I didn't see any. She didn't wear any like negative emotion on her face.
Yeah, it's one thing. If I wasn't around, which she had. Yeah, there's Justin right there. Yeah. The dude's just building his own house and training in his barn. I don't know. It's hard to make assumptions like if I hadn't trained her, would she have been the same? Yes, another timeline, right, of the world. But I think it's something we've worked on over the past. Her and I actually talked about it this weekend. We texted back and forth quite a bit. But I've always told her I've always been impressed with her, not because of I don't care how well you do on the field of play. I care how you hold yourself, because how you compete only takes precedent when you're competing. Like, I don't compete anymore, so no one cares. No one remembers that. But how you hold yourself when you compete is way more important to me, because that'll carry on as a legacy of, okay, was this person a complainer? Was this person just always negative? Or was this person positive and uplifting to people, right? And so that's something I've always stressed, and something that I have always respected the hell out of her for, because, she win, lose, or draw, she will have a smile on her face and have a good time. Because one thing I've always stressed is there are many people in the world who can't do what we do. They can't run, can't jump, can't squat, whether that is something that was inherited because
put another dime in the phone, please. Hebner, are you at a payphone? Hello? Oh, sorry. Hold on. That's my fault. Shit. Look at me. I'm making fun of you, and that's my fault. Sorry. Hello? You're back. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're back. Go ahead.
You're good. Anyways, my point was like,
you think that
she's
you're
always had a
you're
good
such a
attitude.
positive, happy-go-lucky person, and yet you're a fierce competitor, and you think some of that rubbed off on her. She can be a fierce competitor, but she doesn't have to be like Taylor and be just walking around like he's a fucking lion snarling at people.
I don't do
but
that.
the thing is, you need that. You need the opposites, right? Like, you don't have black without white. You don't have negative without positives. I'm not saying what Taylor does is negative by any means. I freaking honestly get a freaking kick out of it. But you got to have people compete differently, and that's okay. I competed joking, laughing, and have a good time, and not everyone appreciated that, and that's okay. And that's the same way Liv competes. So that's what I love about her.
Hey, you know what I think, Jacob? I think a lot of people compete like Taylor. They just don't say it.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
I like people who compete like Jacob, but I don't like it when someone, like, it really annoys me when Colton all weekend is really quiet and like looking aggressive, and then like on the last day now he's being all smiling, giggly. I'm like, shut up, Colton. That pisses me off because he knows he's safe, fucker. He knows he's safe, so now he's all happy.
We actually had a lot of guys back in the day. I say back in the day, but Taylor's been around just as long as I have.
No,
much.
you're
But
back in the
they-
day. You're back in the day, old man. Go ahead. You can use that. Go ahead.
But back in the day, Taylor, we actually had a lot of guys who would do that. They'd be like, who are some good examples? And it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. But we had a lot of guys who would be really, really quiet in like day 1 or day 2, and then that as they would feel safer and better, they talk more and more. And that just, that happens. I see where you're coming from, though. That definitely happens. They come out of their shell. Like I remember Noah doing that a couple times. So
I do. I always have a ton of like nerves before the first workout, and then after the first one, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, it was like if you were playing like a college or high school sport. If you're on like the kickoff team, you'd be like, "Man, I'm so nervous." And then as soon as the play's done, you're like, "Oh, I didn't die. Cool, we're fine, guys. Everything's good."
Hey, Jacob, I know CrossFit's not a combat sport, but in arm wrestling, I was in that scene for a long time. I did a lot of film work there for years, probably 10 years. And in that scene, there is a mental component, intimidation component. And if you arm wrestle someone, you also want to convey to them that when you step up on the table, you're not afraid of them, and that basically you could beat them up, even though those guys never fought. I never was at a tournament in the hundreds of tournaments I went to where anyone fought, but there is a lot of like, hey, I'm more alpha than you. You think more and more I see that in the CrossFit space too. Like, hey, you can't ever be showing a weakness, you like there is a spot like, there is a piece of that there. Would you say that?
Oh yeah,
these guys are real competitors.
I was reading through comments yesterday. I got a kick out of it because I have always told Olivia, I've passed that down to her. I have not passed it down to Chris at all. But I passed it down to Olivia of when you get done with the workout, and say it's a 2-part workout. If you recall, the last kind of 2-part workout we did, at least from my time frame, was back in the last regionals we did was wall balls and pull-ups, and you then went and you get a little break, and then you went to pistols and power cleans. It's a 2-part workout way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling people, like, when you get done with that first part, you run back to the start line and you let everyone know that you're not tired because it's a mental game. You're playing a game with everyone. Like, so as soon as you fall down on the ground or roll around or act tired, you're essentially like, I've thrown a bunch of chum in the water. Like, don't do that. Like, you stand up, you go around a corner and you hide and you breathe like a fat kid. You don't do it in front of anybody else.
But I don't think, like, guys, as we walk into a room, we know everyone in the room who either can beat us up or who can't beat us up or who would be a struggle, right? Like, we know what's going on in the room when we walk in. And I'm sure that when all the boys are in the bullpen, everyone's like, okay, that guy would be a handful. That guy would be a handful. That guy's a bitch. I beat him up. But I don't think the girls do that. I mean, I don't think the guys do it consciously either. I just think that it's like programmed into us.
I mean, I know I could beat up Taylor. I mean, I beat up Bridges. I could easily beat up Taylor.
Probably some truth to that. There's probably some truth to that. That's crazy.
I beat up Bridges.
Dude, you beat up a seal. That's nuts.
Yeah,
it's the most unpatriotic thing anyone's ever done, Jacob. You should have.
Yeah, the running joke I say amongst friends is I call myself a seal clubber now. It's my joke.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's crazy. A seal clubber. Oh, my God.
That's awesome, dude.
Holy shit.
I cannot believe how nice your barn is, dude.
It's so nice.
Yeah, dude. It's we did it. She did a good job. It's going on. It's been up for 3 years now, and we actually one of these days I'll call in and I'll turn my camera on. But I've got a nice. We finished our house, so we're in our house that's like 400 meters. I'm actually pissed. The house is actually 360 meters away from the barn. I'm like, could we not have made it 400 meters and made it easy for ourselves to run back and forth?
Oh, that's cool. I mean, look at that thing. Hey, what's the shed in the back adjacent to the barn? Is that just storage or?
Yeah, so we actually have 2 sheds on the property. That's one of them. We call that the he shed, and the other one is called the she shed, because that one's mine. Because I have so much firearm and shooting stuff. that it was stored in the regular barn, and people kept getting pissed at me, including Olivia. And so we built that other barn, and it's just storage for shooting equipment for me. So.
And I noticed that you bought a little electric
that's stuff.
motorcycle to make the 360-meter journey a completely unnecessary buy.
I actually won that at the last Tactical Games Nationals. So.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess the reason I called in is like, I'm game for trash talk. I freaking love it, right? The only thing I am not game for is when you show up and you make excuses before you show up. Like, for instance, I'm going to show up, a good example. I'm in the middle of my on season, right? My nationals for my sport, Tactical Games, is in middle of November out in Texas. And so we just had 2 twin girls, right? Like a month ago. And thank you. And you'd be remiss to think that I get a lot of sleep, right? It's pretty much, crappy, right? But I'm not going to show up to nationals and say, hey, I don't get any sleep. I don't get a whole lot of time to train. Because I want the guys that beat me, if they do beat me, to win without an asterisk. If they win, they beat me fair and square on the best that I showed up with. So if I showed up and had no sleep and I'm really tired, that's fine. That's the best I got at that time. So all that to say is like, that stuff annoys me. You've never seen me do that before, and you'll never ever see me ever do it. And so that kind of frustrated me. It's something I probably need to have a sit down, like, hey, you're in my barn. These are the rules. Like, I'm okay if you show up and you say, hey man, just, it's in the off season. Like, I'm just not in great shape. I'm going to put forth my best effort and I'm going to have a good time. Dude, game on, brother. Like, that totally makes sense, but not the other way. So.
Hey, the thing is too, going to like the 1 million foot view, Jacob. I don't, basically what it does, I don't mind it maybe for the reasons you do, but what it does is it gives other people a reason then to just engage with you and pick on you. So whether Taylor or Colton thought that he was actually, like, they cared that he was doing that, it just gives them a place to get in his head. You're saying it from more like an ethical or sportsmanship part, but even then, like, you don't, as soon as you say that, it gives the other guys ammo to just start, people, especially people like Taylor, just to start coming at you, right? You got a little
I didn't
string
even know
hanging from
he
your
said
sweater.
that. I didn't even know he said that till John Young told me. But, or it's like, looking at someone like Colton, like, then, maybe it could even be perceived, like, from my position, like, I'm not that stressed about it. I have like so much other stuff going on. It's like, competing is fun, but like, it's even kind of like taking a little bit away from how dominant Colton is. Like, don't take anything away. Like, he's been, since not qualifying, it's insane how fit he is. Like, I underestimated him so much, and he's a good friend of mine, but like, dude, crazy how fit Colton was this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to, if I go up to a competition and lose, I don't want the other guy to feel like, oh, well, I didn't really deserve this. Like, no,
right.
that person beat me at the best that I showed up with, and they deserve that. Like, that's how that works. And the funny thing is, the first time, I've only actually ever really competed with Colton, I think once ever. Well, from like an in-person competition, right, that I recall. And it was a local competition actually here in Kansas City at a professional baseball stadium, right? They had a whole CrossFit event at a professional baseball stadium.
Is that the Circus or Heart of America?
No, it was neither. It was a smaller one. Okay. It was one to benefit veterans. We have a really big veteran organization in Kansas City that really focuses on getting them on horses, because horses can sense stress and PTSD, and that really works well for a lot of guys. Anyway, so we got to compete there, and I remember, dude, like, I was like, dude, first of all, this guy is like super short. Like, he's probably not going to be very good. Bro, destroyed, dude. He did so well, and he was a good runner back then, and I was thoroughly impressed. So and also, to me, he's a Midwest boy, right? He's a down the road. I mean, he's about 3 hours away from me. In my mind, he's a down the road Midwest boy. So I will always support guys in the Midwest. So,
Paper Street Coffee chimes in. I gave Colton food poisoning for a comp, and I'm the one who told people he didn't say shit to anyone.
He
Yeah, I
told me
remember
about that. He told me he was
Yeah.
shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Jay Hans, Tactical Games, FTW. What's FTW?
For the win, bro.
For the win. How is that going, Jacob, by the way? How are you loving that?
Yeah, man, it's I think every male should compete in something. I don't speak for females because I'm not one. At least today I'm not. But every male, exactly. You know, every male should compete. And when I was done with CrossFit, I was like, I need something to compete in. And dude, shooting with firearms has been a blast. You know, the funny story is I actually talked to Caroline's family on the phone probably about 2 weeks ago. She got a hold of my number and called me like stalker. I'm just kidding. She didn't stalk me, but she found my number and she gave me a ring and we talked about it. There's a lot of CrossFit Games athletes that have called me that have been interested because it's a good mix of fitness and shooting, and it's a really cool skill to have, right? You already have the fitness, and now it's like you got to go out and learn firearms, and it's just it's a skill that not many people have that I think you don't ever want to have because your life depends on it. But if it's there, it's great. It's a good skill.
And I
So
heard the
have a lot
fitness.
of
I heard the
athletes that have
fitness
called me.
side of it's like really legit. I heard it's like, hey man, if you're not really fit, you're not doing well there.
Yeah. So funny story is Spencer Panchek, right? He's doing a couple of them. He's done a couple of me. So he showed up his first one. And I think a lot of guys, like Khalifa is another example. Khalifa went to one recently. And a lot of guys show up and they think, oh, you know, I've been to the CrossFit Games or I've competed at a high level. Like I'm gonna be fine. And they get trashed. Only because it's a specific type of fitness, right? Like honestly, Crash Crucible is probably the closest competition that is mimics Tactical Games because it's very unique and it has a lot of odd objects. So like I had to teach Chris how to use a fat bar a couple weeks ago because the boy literally could not clean 185 on a fat bar. So like stuff like that. We do a lot of farmer carries and odd object, a lot of sandbag work, and it's just very specific. Essentially, it's CrossFit in a dirt field. Well, what would you do in a dirt field? CrossFit, sandbag, sled push, running, farmer carries, grip, rope climbs, crap like that. So it's a blast, man. It's different. It allows me to continue to stay relevant. And, you know, it gives Taylor a chance because, you know, I don't want to have to come back into CrossFit and beat him at CrossFit. So.
Hey, I just got this FN 509 tactical and I got an Obsidian suppressor and then I put a aim point acro on it and it's pretty sick. Just
there you go.
Thought you'd find that cool.
Honestly, what I would love, and I've talked to so many games athletes, I would love to put on a weekend and like have a hotel block opened up and just be like, hey man, I can't have randos, right? I don't want randos on my property with firearms because that's like asking for getting shot in the back.
Sketchy.
But like essentially opening it up to like, essentially opening up and saying, hey, if I know you and you want to learn how to shoot better, dude, show up. We'll spend a freaking weekend, have all these CrossFit Games athletes show up because we would have a freaking blast.
That'd be sick. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Jacob, are you voting? Are you voting, Jacob?
We know who he's voting for, so you don't even have to ask. I'm voting for Trump. I'll say it for everyone.
Are you voting, Jacob?
Oh, I absolutely vote, dude. If people are gonna travel overseas and die for my country, if I didn't vote, it'd be how un-American is that?
Well, thank you. Thank you for your vote.
Daniel Garrity said, is that the gun my wife had to buy because I'm on a list? I'm not on a list, bro. It was a birthday present, okay? Jeez. Chill.
I got a kick out of, I did send a photo. I got a kick out of the podium picture yesterday from Crash with freaking Taylor wearing what's wrong.
Dude, I wear that everywhere. I wore it in LA at West Coast Classic.
Oh, dude. We actually, Spencer Panchik did attack games with me, and we work off of Z score, right? So not a P score, we work off a Z score. So
that's cool.
The main difference for that is essentially it's very similar to a gradient on the curve, right? So I believe a P score is based on mean or the average, whereas a Z score is based upon, hey, if Taylor goes in there and we run a mile for time and Taylor does it in 6 minutes, and that's the fastest time, then he gets 100 points and everyone else is based upon his score. So essentially, like it's only based upon whoever has the fastest score of that event.
That's not what the
which
P
isn't
score
cool
is?
for our sport. P score is based upon mean or average in my interpretation.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we lost him. Now we really lost him. As soon as we started talking about scoring, we lost him.
Shut the fuck up. I messaged. So I saw that.
He's back. You're not going to talk.
Okay. I'll shut up.
They're trying to
But
sell you a new iPhone.
Tackle games is based upon a Z score versus a P score. And so this is going to have a point in the end, believe me. It'll actually be a point about Spencer wearing a Kamala shirt. And so Spencer went and did his first tackle games with me. And I told him, I said, hey man, you're going to compete with me. Like, let's make a bet. I bet you won't be within 30% of me, of my score at the very end of the weekend. And he goes, oh, absolutely. I'll be closer. Well, he was 40% away. So the bet was the next competition he does, he has to wear a Kamala Harris shirt.
Oh, no.
Oh shit.
I would never have accepted that bet, bro. I would have kept 5K before I accepted that.
God, what if someone took
So-
a picture of that? That could ruin you.
So I got to figure out if I want him to wear that shirt at a shooting competition or if I want to wait for semifinals next year and make him wear
Oh
his
my
semis.
God.
If she loses, fine. Wear it at semis. If she wins, no, don't.
But anyway, so.
Hey, Jacob.
Sir.
There was this post Danielle Brandon made yesterday on her story. And it's a screenshot. I wonder if I could pull that up. Should I send that to you?
Sure. I responded to it.
Oh, and it's let me see if I can send Caleb the photos.
Message me back. Do you want to pull my Instagram? I'm gonna pull my Instagram up, Caleb, and we can go through this message together. We can open it and read it for the first time. Will that be exciting?
I'm gonna pull up the story real quick and that.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to. If she, do you think Danielle's okay with you sharing that?
I don't care.
Oh,
I'm not.
Well, here's the story. Here's the what.
Oh, okay. So you can't. Can you see the screen, Jacob?
Sure can.
Okay. So she basically posted 3 times CrossFit Games athlete. Okay, now and then you see right below it, there's like a little bit of blue that's not cropped out too down there. I'm not sure what that is, but and then it says 3-time CrossFit Games athlete, period. And then if you go to Brittany Weiss's Instagram, she just won Crash Crucible, right? And so if you go to Brittany Weiss's Instagram, she has 3-time CrossFit Games athlete.
No way. That might be it. But listen, can I go ahead and share now?
Meaning she's punking her, right? She's like basically saying, "Yo, this chick won. This chick may have won Crash Crucible, but she's also not really a games athlete. She's a team athlete." That's some pretty. Do you like that kind of trolling? That's some solid trolling, isn't it?
I mean, dude, Savon, you should have me on more often because I am very opinionated. And I've got a story for everything. So the rule in my barn is you cannot put CrossFit Games athlete in your bio unless you actually go as an individual. So I had to. Olivia, remember, she went 3 years as a team. That didn't count. I didn't let her put that. I was like, you can put team on there, but you can't put CrossFit Games out there because I said you aren't one. And then when she qualified, last year, she put CrossFit Games athlete in her bio right after semis. I said, no, you have not actually competed at the CrossFit Games. You can put it after you compete, assuming you make it there and aren't injured. You can put it then after the end of the games, you can put it. And she's like, okay, cool. That makes total sense to me. So then this past year, Chris qualified to go to the CrossFit Games and he put it in his bio. And Olivia took a screenshot of his bio and sent it to me and said, are you going to yell at him or me? I said, I got it. And I had to tell him, you got to take it down. You can only put it in your bio when you actually compete. Now, you can make the argument of like, was the CrossFit Games this year? I don't freaking know. I don't want to talk about that. So
Yeah. That's funny how you have to guide people on the nuance of claiming or self-proclaimed accolades. I feel like, I mean, I guess as someone who's never made it, I'm like, to me, that seems pretty common sense. Like, but I do get it. I do get it. And also I haven't made it. So who am I to say anything to Chris or Olivia?
Yeah, just put down like the best, fittest trash talker that's never made it.
Part-time bubble athlete like 6 times.
Jacob,
One-time demo game.
would you, if you had a female athlete and she wanted to get implants, would you tell her to wait till her professional career's over?
I'm probably not going to answer that question, but yes, I would probably say yes. It's probably not worth it. There's probably better usages of money. You could obviously consider that an investment to some degree, and I'm sure there's an ROI on it. But I'd probably say save your money.
An ROI. Oh my god.
2 loads a day.
So I saw that story from Danielle, and I messaged her. I said, "Why don't you?" I just said tag them then. And she responded and said, "There's like 5 girls with it." And I just responded. I said, "Tag them all."
I mean, they should. Like, I don't understand why they do that. It just looks bad in my mind.
Brittany Weiss can do no wrong. Patrick Clark, shout out to Taylor Self for double duty this weekend. Great job coaching up Morgan Porter. Great performance after a tough women's field. Sentinel works. Sorry, go ahead, Jacob.
No, she's a sweetheart. I really like Brittany. I think she competed. She's a teen athlete, wasn't she?
I don't know.
Teen?
Or I don't
teen,
remember.
As in like teenager.
Hey, I think she said she's been
it.
doing it for 10 or 12 years. She said something crazy like that. So you're probably right.
Yeah, she did it. She was a teen athlete, and the reason I know that is because she competed alongside Olivia's older sister when she went to the CrossFit Games, and that's Ellie. So that's why I know Brittany from like years of watching her on the teen division, not the team.
Are you dry firing the gun, Jacob?
No, I'm playing with a magnet in my hand right now.
Darn it! You should have just lied. You should have.
I mean, I got dry fire targets all over my office. So, but yeah, there's guns all over my house, but not in front of me right now.
That's it. All right, you think Ibarra's making it back to the games this year?
Oh, I think he could. I think. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. This is Taylor probably knows this to a degree, not as it relates to the CrossFit Games per se, but he'll understand this. But I remember when Olivia made it to the first year at the games, and I told her, I said, this will be the only year you're going to really, truly have fun. And she said, well, what do you mean? I said, you have no expectations. You can go in there and take 40th. I mean, I'm going to make fun of you, but like you can take 40th and you'll have a great time. I was like, but when you go to compete next year, there are expectations, the E word, right? Where people expect you to go back. I was like, and those expectations will also be self-imposed. And it's going to be the hardest year of your life, the second year, because you're going to think, I got to do better. I got to go back. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? It can really drag on an athlete, or it can actually kick it into high gear and make you essentially go crazy and do better, right? I was able to turn that into every year. My goal was to do better every year, and every year I was able to do that, except for 2020. Well, because 2020 sucked. Olivia wasn't able to qualify this year. She had a bad showing on day 1 and day 2, but then crushed day 3 like a madman. But we'll see what Chris says, right? It's going to come down to how do you deal with expectations? How do you deal with people expecting you to do good? And look, I mean, this weekend, expectations were placed upon him. And, you know, for lack of better terms, it was like, you know, he did well. Don't get me wrong. But like, I don't think he did well the verbal side of things of like, how do you approach expectations within the side of a conversation, which is something we can talk about. But expectations are hard when you go back for year 2. It's tough.
He seems like he's got the fire. He seems fierce.
Yeah, I think he's got it in him. I think he can do it personally. I don't think he's an athlete that needs programming to go his way. I think he'll be okay. He's pretty freaking strong. He's working on a lot of things. He pulled in an Olympic lifting coach in Kansas City, who we have that I've used in the past. And so he'll do okay.
Well, appreciate you calling in, dude. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man. Well, if you ever need an opinionated stance on anything, you know how to get a hold of me.
Okay, and I appreciate how you dodged the boob question. That was good. You didn't dodge it. You answered it in your own way. That was nice. I like that.
I answer in a business perspective. You know,
Yeah.
I've always said, I'll leave you with this last thought as I lead off. The Lord made me a male. If the Lord had made me a female, I'd probably be a multimillionaire already. So,
wow. All right. All right. Thanks, brother. Have a good day.
See you guys.
Wow, that's a nice surprise. Jacob Hebner.
That was cool.
Sees boobs as a investment property and said that all males should compete in something. That's pretty cool.
Can I admit something that's I'm not sure I want to admit this on the air either.
Whisper it to me and then I'll tell you if you should say it out loud.
Okay. Oh fuck.
This is
You
good.
lucky bastard.
Here we go. Strap in, people. Hello.
Howdy.
Oh, Nelly.
Watch out, fellas.
Hey, are you pretty pumped? Congratulations, by the way. What a fucking stud.
Yeah, I caught.
What a stud.
I'm sure he's driving back, so he's gonna hear my voice and fucking shit.
Hey,
So, yeah.
did you watch the whole event?
Who's this?
I had to watch. Yeah, I watched it bits and pieces when I could get out of the combine or semi or something. But yeah.
What's the combine? That's like a big thing that like scoops up hay. That's some farm equipment.
Yeah, picks corn and beans. Yeah.
Is this Colton's dad?
You drive a car that picks
Hi, Taylor.
beans.
What's up, dude? Hey, Colton's such a great guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good shit. I know he's driving back, like I said, so he's probably listening. He's probably off. Fuck.
Hey, dude, I got a question.
So if you guys want to know, if you want to know anything, just fire away.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Okay, here it is. Here's the question, a parenting question. So my mom wanted me to get a job at Starbucks so that I could get health insurance. And I was just passionate about video cameras and chasing my dream. And I didn't even have a dream. I just wanted to film shit, right? Like grow rooms and athletic events and people, just whatever, anything, and edit it up and put it on the internet. My mom's like, get a real job. I'm like, what are you talking about? I do this 100 hours a week. I'm in love with this shit. So I don't do it. And I end up being successful. And now I got 3 kids and she lives down the street and we're happily ever after. I'm guessing that you had did you have a similar thing with Colton when he started pursuing this CrossFit thing where you're just like, hey, dude, what are you doing?
No, I didn't know really anything about CrossFit when he started. And I don't think he really did either. I think he had a vision of what he wanted to do. And then when he got into it more, because when he'd come back from college in the summer and he was working, long hours at the farm or when he was on break and he was grumpy and shit because he'd go home and train half the night. And I didn't realize, that CrossFit was that he wanted to do this professionally and be this successful. And so I'm like, well, one day he was just growly all the time. And I was like, dude, what's up? Why are you so fucking growly? And he's like, I'm fucking tired. He said, I got no time to train. And I want to do this. And I was like, oh shit, and so we kind of scaled things back a little bit for him so he could train. But, the problem with Colton, and I don't know if it's not just me, but if he's mad at you about something, he won't say something until it kind of boils to a head. And then he never gets overly mad. But when that happens, you're going to know. I mean, you're going to get, the earful. And that's kind of on me. I didn't really, and I told him one day, I said, you got to figure out, you want to farm or you want to fucking lift weights? And I kind of said like that. And that pissed him off because he didn't think I took his training seriously, which I really didn't, because I didn't know that, hey, this is a legit thing. I just thought I was pumping iron, doing a couple of competitions locally and,
just trying to get chicks like the rest of us. Just work out and get chicks. Yeah.
Right. So then we scaled things back a little bit and kind of been scaling things back a little more for him. He still wants to contribute. I think eventually he's probably going to quit farming and train full time. I think he has to at the level he's at. I don't think his body's going to let him do what he's doing now long term.
So you trusted his judgment, Tony? You trusted his judgment? Yeah.
I did. Because I mean, I've been forced into doing things, is work related that you didn't want to do at a time. And then if your heart's not, especially farming, because if your heart's not in it, you're going to hate it. And I told him the farm's always going to be here, whether he wants to come back 5 years from now, if he quits to train or 10 years, the farm's going to be here. It's not going anywhere. You know, he's always going to have this opportunity. And same with his little brother, you know, he doesn't really want to help farm right now. And that's fine. You know, they got to chase their own dreams. You know, I wish they would, because, you know, when Colton's not here, I will say it's a burden. And it's going to have to be some figuring out what we're.
You mean because he can do what any average 10 men can do?
Well, he's so good at managing time and getting things done that, you know, you just don't. It's hard to find farm help that people are motivated and give a shit and can manage time and when they're at work, get things done. He comes to work, he gets it done, and then he's gone. But he does a good job, and he, like I said, he gets it done. So that part of it, you know, is tough to do, because it definitely puts some more load on us when he's gone. But which I don't have a problem with, because, you know, I love watching him, and I'm very proud of, you know, the life he's built in CrossFit. I mean, it's just.
How close is his home to your home, Tony?
I can hit his house with a bottle rocket.
That is awesome. Hey, and do you feel like the luckiest dad in the world because of that? You must be so happy he's close.
Well, you know, yes and no, because I own about 30 some acres by my house, and there's some timber behind it and some ponds. We got a little campground back there. And I told him, when I gave him some ground between us, I said, I'll give this to you, whatever. But if you ever sell this place, you got to give me a chance to buy it first, because I don't play well with others, and I just don't want fucking neighbors.
Well, your son doesn't probably play well with doesn't seem to play well with others.
Well, see, I don't think he likes his neighbor, and I'm his neighbor. Because he'll call me up and go, your dogs are making my dogs bark, or their kids riding the 4 through the yard, or, you know, just shit that annoys him, and I get all that. But but now we get along pretty good and all that stuff. So yeah,
well, I heard you say I heard you say I love watching him, and that's like to hear you say that and have a son who's in his 20s makes me so happy, because that's all I want to do all day is watch my kids. Like, I wake up in the morning, I go to their bedroom and I look at them, you know what I mean? And I readjust their sheets. And then, like,
oh yeah,
like if they're if they're whatever they're doing, I'll just go in there and watch them, like whether they're shooting BB guns in the backyard or fucking eating. I just love watching them. Yeah, it's so cool.
And he was in high school and football and wrestling, you know, and he actually tried to play basketball. And one day he made the B team.
Come on, no, he didn't.
Oh, come on. I was like, I told him one day, I said, Colton, I don't know what to say, son, but you're never going to be a basketball player. And his little brother was the same way. He was actually on tournament basketball team, and he was short too and not very big. And they're like, you guys are not going to be basketball players. And Cody found running and was a state champ in track, and then Colton found wrestling, who he was runner up. But I remember when they started wrestling Colton in 9th grade, he wasn't very good. He got taken down by, I was like, how in the fuck that happened, kid? I mean, and then he got the bug for it. And he's very competitive, and he don't like to get beat. So he just was live and breathe and eat wrestling camps, training this, and took him places in the summer. And he lifted weights. And then when he didn't make state his junior year, he got beat out. He got third at districts, and he was pretty pissed. The next day he got up and he was running. I'm like, what are you doing? Take a day off. He goes, I don't know. He says, my next season starts now. I'm not getting beat. I'm not getting taken down. I'm winning state. And he trained, and a lot of the kids that he beat through the year, he's undefeated until the finals match. And I think up until the finals match, he was only taken down twice the whole year.
Wow.
And he would wrestle kids that were, you know, returning state champions through the year, and come the third period, them kids are gassed because they can't hang with him. He just mauls the shit out of them because he was in such good a shape.
Have you?
And that's what, you know.
His personality has I don't want to say he's changed, but like he's growing up right in front of our eyes, right? He's blossoming, he's taking more and more risks, like basically making himself more and more vulnerable, talking more and more, showing different sides of himself.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those sides of him before, and now you're just seeing him show the world?
Well, no, because you know, like when go back to his wrestling, when in tournaments, when it's about your time to go on the mat, you got to get up and kind of warm up. He would be off behind the bleachers hiding. He'd peek his head around to see if it's his time to go. His junior and senior year, when he's kind of top dog on the block, and you know, he'd be out in front, you know, pulling up his singlet and then his shirt off, and you know, just kind of. But you know, Colton, back win or lose, you would never know by looking at him. You could, because he never ever celebrated when he won. Never did. Never like gloated and jumped in the air and fist pumped and all this shit. And he never threw a fit. He never did. He just handled business. But yeah, I always give him shit, when he gets talking on some trash talking, which is not Colton. He's got one-liners. He cracks me up all the time, these little one-liners, and
Yeah, he's got.
and I think I'm funny, but yeah, I think I'm funny, but then I talk to him, he makes me look like a fucking idiot. So his little one-liners, his little one-liners, but when he's trash talking, I'm like, man, I don't know if I like that side of you, Colton, but I get it. But I'm not used to him doing it. He don't really. I think Colton has a chip on his shoulder, has had for years, and it goes back to high school, and he got fucked over in sports, and by coaches, and he never threw a fit and pouted, but he made him work harder. And I think he has to have that somebody pissing him off or somebody saying, you're too short, you can't do this, because that feeds his fire like you would not believe, And I think some of that, when he started, and I didn't know much about CrossFit, I was like, well, you got to make a living too, kid. And he's like, yeah, I'll fucking show you,
Yeah.
So I think that was a chip, and he is showing me. He definitely, and I'm not surprised, because Colton, he'll take a job and he'll do his best and complete it and be proud of it. You can tell him to go count rocks in the driveway. It's got to be done. And he would find a system and do it, even though it's, he just would do it. It's just the way he is. But yeah, I'm actually glad that he's kind of come out of that shell. I think CrossFit has changed him. And even the people he's met through the way, like you guys and stuff, has opened him up a lot more, his personality wise and stuff. And then, because if you go back and watch clips of his first podcast he did, and I watched, I'm like, oh, this is painful to watch, Colton. You always because he kind of grunts and blinks his eyes and clears his throat, and he has a hard time talking. But now he's just like, he's out there with his shirt off, telling people to fuck off and you're pussies, and get in shape or don't show up. Leave your excuses at home. Type of, and that's the side of him I really don't see, that I kind of knew was there, but it's kind of funny when it comes out.
The thing what I like about him, Travis Bajan told me one time, a professional arm wrestler, he's like, hey man, calling your shots is the greatest thing. I go, why is that? And he goes, because if you fail, people only remember for a second, but when you succeed, they remember forever. So just go out there, fucking talk your shit, say what you're gonna do, and go out there and do your best. The thing is too is like, I mean, he's able to hold his head up high. After what happened at semifinals, he didn't go into hiding. He doubled down on being even more ferocious, and that takes a lot of fucking, like, the people really appreciate that. It's not easy what he's doing.
No, and I think that's like a story I told you about when he got beat at districts, and next day he was running.
Yeah,
when I watched semifinals, and I don't know someone that there might have been some judgment calls on a judge to give him some no reps. I think he would have been a lot closer if that wouldn't happened. And it is what it is. And I asked him about it, and he wasn't happy about it. He goes, I don't even know why I got no reps, but he's, and that right there sums up Colton's life. Every time he gets to, and I'm not trying to make an excuse or anything, but go back to his sports in school, he's like, hey, if you want to play football, as long as you're in the weight room every day, busting your ass, just start my team. Well, Colton, pound for pound, was the toughest kid on that football team. Never missed. He trained more than anybody. And they didn't start him on defense, like they always said, because he was small and not real fast, unbelievably. He thinks he's fast, but he ain't fast. But anyway, so, asking about the race he ran with his brother, they were shit talking 4th of July, and his brother used to run cross country and track, and they had a foot race, and that's Colton who won that. But anyway,
he had the highest moment at semifinals and the lowest moment, which was crazy, right? The stadium, when he did that double, that double clean, the stadium went crazy. But then also when he didn't qualify, I mean, like, I walked within 20 feet of him, I wanted to start crying. I mean, you could feel just what was coming off of him. So intense. He didn't talk for a few minutes. He didn't talk. I mean, maybe 10 minutes. He just fucking locked up.
Yeah, he's that way. When he got beaten wrestling at districts, he walked off and kind of went in the locker room, just sat there by himself. And I think he's pretty good at knowing, I need to get my emotions in check. And then once he kind of gets things figured out, and it just feels a burn in him, you can just see it. When he every day I see him, I think he's gained 10 pounds of muscle, and of course I think he's shrinking. But anyway, but so. I don't know. He's just an odd, not odd, but he's a very.
He's odd. He's odd.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that kid's fucking mentality and determination, and I'm not lacking in it, but I have nowhere near that kind of just fortitude. This is what I want to do, and I don't give a shit how it happens. It's going to happen, type of thing. And he will. He'll. You know, he used to train till midnight, work the farm till 8, 9 o'clock, and then train till midnight. I thought, what the fuck are you doing? Like I said, just to do a few competitions, but look where he's at. I mean, that's pretty proud of him. Yeah, definitely.
Well, congratulations. He's one of the few athletes. Maybe I shouldn't be so harsh, but he's given more to the sport, or he's given as much to the sport as he's taken from the sport. And that's a hard fucking thing to do. He's inspired a shit ton of people. People really like him. He brings a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
He's made himself vulnerable. He has shown people when the odds are stacked against you, like it doesn't matter. He doesn't even talk about that shit. He's truly a wonderful person. I can't believe what he's done for this podcast. He's always reciprocal. I don't know if you heard, but like 20 of the guys went out to dinner last night, and when they went to go pay, Colton had already paid. He's a gem of a man. He's always a gentleman. Just a great dude. So you should be really proud. I mean, I hope my kids turn out like Colton. Yeah. And if you're not an odd duck, you're not going to stand out, and you're not going to ever make it to the top. I mean, Elon Musk is an odd duck, and those are the only people who succeed. So kudos for Colton for putting it all on the line.
Yeah, I think all them CrossFit people are a little mentally, because I don't know how in the hell they can put their body and mind through that kind of torture. There's something wrong with you people.
They have deep-seated issues. Taylor will talk about it.
Right. No, it's all good. I like slapping shit to them guys and him about it, but yeah, it's definitely I don't know, just watching him, like I said, I don't think there's anything. If you told him he couldn't do it, he'll just go do it just to prove you wrong, I think. And that's kind of his mentality, And I honestly, knowing Colton a little bit, he probably wishes he was 6 inches taller, but he also uses that to his advantage to prove that people are wrong. Hey, I can do this. You said I couldn't do this. I can do this. And I know that fuels him, like he's training by himself and wanting to give up and say, fuck this, I'm going to take a break. And that's probably something that pushes him through. So it's like, yeah, I'm not quitting. So yeah, it's all good.
Tony, thanks for calling, dude. Always great to hear your voice, man.
All right.
All right, brother.
You guys take care. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Later, dude.
Yeah, bye.
What the fuck is going on this morning?
Hope to meet him someday.
Me too.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
What is going on? Jacob Hepner, Tony Mertens.
All right, so listen. First off, someone.
Thanks for coming on the show, by the way.
You're welcome, bro.
You came on an hour ago. You haven't had a chance to say.
Dude, it's all good. It's all good. This is good practice for me, honestly. It's great practice for me. But I just wanted to hang out because Caleb left yesterday. I didn't get to say goodbye to Caleb. Lizzie said she was mad at you for leaving without saying goodbye to her. But it's all good. And I just wanted to hang out with you guys. That was the worst part about this weekend, is because it was nothing like NorCal. Like, we were all separated, and I didn't hang out with any of them a single time until last night. We went out to dinner.
And by the way, Caleb, you should take that as a huge compliment, because the reason why people want to say bye to you is not a formality, but it's because you're fucking cool.
Yeah, you're cool as
just
fuck.
So you know, you're cool as fuck to hang out with. You're so fun to have. You are a great addition. Lizzie's a great addition like that too. Just having people around who fucking don't take and just give is so rad.
So first off, on that reel, I don't know if Rios or Will made it, like the "did we just become friends" reel of like me pushing the sled and staring down Chris, and then Chris high-fiving me on my deadlifts. Someone commented on it and goes, "Don't let the bullies get to you, Chris. Keep doing your thing. Great work." And I'm like, seriously? No one fucking bullied this guy. He's a grown man. No, that's not it.
No.
Oh, that's not it?
That's not the comment. Sorry, that was the real.
Oh,
71,000 plays. Damn, that's fire. Scroll. No, not this guy. No.
Hey, I have to pee real quick.
Yeah, go pee.
Okay.
Me too. Caleb, scroll and find it.
Oh, okay. I'll run a commercial real quick.
All right.
While we pee. Look, you just got on the show and you have to pee.
My name's Josue Bocanegra. I'm originally from Mexico. I'm 27 and I go to Salty Hive CrossFit. When I came in here, I was 195, almost 200 pounds, and I had never been that heavy, like ever. And then I got in here, started eating well. You know, we have the consistency is key. That's always, like, I don't know, like ever since I heard it here, like it was always in my head. And it didn't just apply to the gym, it applied to my eating habits, to my workouts, to even like just work, school. Consistency is key. So I started eating healthier, started avoiding sugars, I started avoiding candy because I love candy. I try to avoid it as much as possible, and I'm now 169 pounds this morning actually. And I don't feel skinny either. It's like I'm actually fit, which is awesome, you know? I think it's the most fit I've ever been in my entire life, regardless of playing soccer in high school. Actually trying for a while to get my dad in here because he struggled with obesity throughout his life. What I tell him all the time is like, you got to get in here because it's not just the gym. It's not just you get in there and people may be just judging you for what you're doing. No, it's a community. It's somewhere where they'll help you actually improve and not just lose weight and actually get strong and actually get fit. And it's so much more than a gym. That's what I tell him.
I want to know if Salty Hive really has like 50% Hispanic members, or if they're just like cherry picking their Hispanic members to make commercials about. We have a ton of Hispanic members, but I just feel like I wouldn't expect that from Utah, Salt Lake City. But maybe I just don't know shit about Salt Lake City.
They're everywhere.
Okay, bro. Yeah, so this comment, great job, keep doing your thing. Don't let the boys get to you. Hey, isn't he the one who went on a podcast and said, I'm not in game shape, these guys should beat me. If they don't, they never will. Talking all this shit. And then like, hey, I never said fucking shit. But then he makes an Instagram post about living rent free. Like,
no, he made that because you did say shit.
What did I say?
You were you had said that it got back to him that you were talking about his depth. In his in the purgatory, supposedly it got back to him that you were talking shit about his depth.
Hey, I wasn't talking shit about his depth. Everyone came up to me after the workout and said he didn't do a single squat in his first set of 50, and half of them in his second set of 50 didn't count. And
most people didn't.
Oh, not me. My asshole touches the ground.
Well, you're
bro.
different. You're different. I mean, there were some people that were squatting all the way, but
I
most
went back
people
and
weren't.
watched my deadlifts. Anyone in the fucking comments, you can't make a Hiller video about me because my elbows don't fucking bend, you assholes. So anyone talking fucking shit about my deadlifts, none of them were fucking bad. I was moving to the standard. Eat up cock. But anyways, he was talking shit about that. So that comment really fires me up because it's like, oh, he's being bullied. He's the victim. Let's protect the fucking the minority. Like, shut up, dude. He's the one talking shit out here.
Everyone's talking shit. But I think you instigated it though.
Going into a competition and saying, oh, I'm not in game shape. I'm not even that fit right now. Dude, you're such a...
How about Jacob calling and talking about that?
That's all good. But I mean, I don't know. Anything he says that gets said to him after that is like, hey, bro, you asked for it. Yeah, you so fucking asked for it. And let's also be honest. Colton destroyed everyone this weekend. But there were massive gaps.
He wasn't happy that you beat him in the first two workouts, by the way. He was not.
I know. He expected to win the first one, and I expected to win the biker workout. So I was really bummed out and pissed off that I'm just not as fit as him right now. And that's that's an annoying pill to swallow. Like it's not something I care to, like someone was like, are you happy with the weekend? I'm like, no, I'm not happy at all. I'm not angry. Like second place isn't horrible, but I don't like to admit that he's fitter than me. That fucking that's fuck that. But
you got smoked by SpongeBob.
Yeah, but Chris Ibarra got smoked by a fucking handicap part-time bald athlete, bro. Because I beat him just as badly as Colton beat me, and Colton demolished him. So it's just crazy.
Caller hi.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thank you for being so patient.
Of course. Can you explain to me, like a fifth grader, the scoring system? I tried looking it up. I was fascinated by it all week. I actually did like it, but
I'll
Z
explain it.
scoring system, I couldn't keep just real fast.
So Z-score was the original concept from Tyler, and to my knowledge, like Jacob was saying, the fastest time sets a standard deviation bell curve. So based off of the fastest score or the best score, you use that number to create like a bell curve with standard deviation, and you place all the other scores on it, and that distributes the points. With P-score, the big difference is instead of them calculating the curve off of the fastest time, they take all 30 scores, average them out, and they take the median score, and that's how they distribute the points.
How would you get negative then doing that? The negative doesn't make sense to me. Shouldn't it
That's
be?
what I was wondering.
Okay,
The
good,
negative
okay.
points I could not figure out.
Yeah.
Because it used to just be 0 points. I don't know the negative points, but apparently you can do so bad that you get negative points, and I think that's kind of like, well,
Hey, caller, we could be fucked. You could have just ruined the whole show. This could have been the best show ever. What if Tyler calls in now and tries to explain it to us and ruins the show? Do you take any
That's not
responsibility?
true.
Do you
That's
take
not
any
true.
responsibility for that?
That's not true that you
Blame
can't
me.
understand it and you just have to take their word for it. And I'm not the person to explain why there's a tight grouping of scores at the bottom, other than to say this, Mason. There is such a clear distinction between the best scores and it measures the gap in fitness. So when me and Colton do the first workout in 7 minutes and the next best time is a minute and a half slower, and then people are getting time capped, like that's what you shouldn't only be 10 points back if you finish 2 minutes slower. So that's what it accounts for.
Caller, what's your interpretation? How would you explain it, caller? If you were to explain Z score and P score, how would you explain it? Because I would explain it.
Well, and I kept hearing all weekend the CrossFit Games scoring. I didn't realize that the games had their own scoring. I thought that was like how everyone.
It's like a 4 or 5 point tier system. So like first through fifth is like 5 point separations, then it goes to 4 point separations, then 3 points, etc.
But Taylor, if third place was 2 minutes after you, and third place is worth 85 points, they still finish 2 minutes after you, which is terrible. But they still get 5 points less than you in the CrossFit game.
And that's what P score accounts for. So people who complain about it, like they just complain about it because
I liked it. I just was trying to figure it out all weekend. It was kind of bothering me that I couldn't. And also going back to the bullying comment, I made a comment yesterday about Savan on that exact same post getting called a retard. That's a great way to handle it the way he said I could be. That's just a good example of how to handle bullying. That was a great example of that. And that made me laugh Savan out loud. Thank you for that.
Ultimately,
Hiller taught me that. To be honest with you, I got to give Hiller credit for that. Hiller's like, dude, just lean into every single one. Like, like, do you care? I'm like, no. And he's like, just lean into it.
And this is the other thing. Like,
oh, Heidi Kroom just said you're a bully, caller.
Lizzie just yeah, hold on, let me text her back. She's gonna bring me coffee. She explained to me the tight grouping. She says the tight grouping, because we decided if they were going negative, we would just do -1, 2, 3 instead of -2, 15, 64, etc. Like actually follow the curve. So instead of giving someone -64 points, they made a decision to not punish them as excessively as they could have been punished. But here's the deal.
I still don't understand the negative.
Yeah. I don't either. But the scoring is irrelevant because the fittest people on the podium, that was the distribution of fitness throughout the weekend of competition. Like, doesn't change the result for Colton being on the top. And last place, if it changes the result by 3 different places, like, ooh, maybe 30th is 27th and 27th is 29th, no one cares. Honestly, the only people that matter and the only people that anyone cares about in any CrossFit competition ever are going to be the podium and then maybe anyone who has an impact on the podium. And unfortunately, at competitions of this level and even at semifinals, the bottom 20 or the bottom 10 almost never impact the podium in any of their scores. So it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're complaining about it, just get fitter. That's the deal. And now I really want to talk about.
Gotcha.
I want to ask the caller. Okay, we're not talking about fun bags. This is but
I know, but if you're going to talk about P score, I got to do something to keep people watching.
What I'm about to share now is going to go crazy, and the caller is going to need to have an opinion on this. I really actually don't know if I should say this live.
I don't think you should. Is it what we talked about last night?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the response that I was going to comment on Chris Ibarra's Instagram post about living rent free.
Okay.
Go ahead. I can handle it.
Dude, but I don't know if I can handle it. This is what I'm saying. I don't know if I can handle it.
Don't you
Pull and pray, pump and dump.
But
No.
don't you guys? Here's the thing I don't
It was
understand about that.
political. It was political.
Mm.
And you're probably going. You're probably tracking where I'm going with that.
You think Ibarra votes Kamala? No.
I wouldn't say it was about who you vote for. Thank you. I don't think it's about who you vote for. More or less, what one of the party's policies is.
Oh, this would be good. This would be good.
Ibarra is really a woman. You think he's a tranny? You think he?
No, he said living rent free. Living rent free. And he's Hispanic.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Dude. He opened the door for himself, and I was like, bro, living rent free. And I wanted to comment. Oh man, I just had
no. It's your people who are living rent free, motherfucker. I like Ibarra. You know why I like Ibarra so much? This is so weird. You want to know why?
Why?
I like his skin.
He has good skin, and he also has a crazy neck. He's got like no neck.
Yeah, he looks like he belongs on Baywatch, like as the token. I don't even know if he is Hispanic. He might be Asian.
No, he's Hispanic.
Ibarra.
Oh.
Hey, do you guys have any problems Do you guys have any problems separating the art from the artist?
The church and
meaning,
state. Yeah.
No. Meaning, like when I was working out today, a Jay-Z song came on. I love Jay-Z, but obviously what's coming out about him, is it going to ruin it for all of us? All these artists that are going to go under in the next 6 months?
Oh, I've got it.
Have any problems still?
Yeah. Neil Young's a fucking exactly. I used to love Neil Young. The second he was like, "Hey, fuck it," like basically kill people who don't take the injection. I fucking don't listen to. I would not listen to his music anymore. I don't want to support him at all.
Is there an artist you would still listen to though? Like when Kanye West comes on, or just Michael Jackson, great songs.
My kids love Eminem, and I think Eminem's such a cuck.
Really? So here's the thing. I like Lizzie can separate it really well, but like our realtor didn't have bumper stickers on his car when we first met him. And today we were meeting him at the inspection, and he had new Harris Wall stickers on his car. And I was like behind him, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my fucking God. And Lizzie's like, hey, can we just separate like him being good at his job and who he's affiliated with? And I was like, nope, he's a fucking retard. I'm pretty sure he's retarded. It spoiled it for me. And I also have this sneaking suspicion that he uses it as like a sales tactic. Like maybe they're magnets, and he knows he's going to meet with people who he knows are super liberal. So he pops these like magnets on his car so that they like him more.
Yes, I know realtors. Who they've told me the whole thing is be as fake as you want to people just to get them to buy the fucking house.
Yeah. So but anyways, it's hard for me to separate because I honestly, unfortunately, like there are people I know, like there's this girl I used to coach with at a gym back in Virginia, and we argue every day about political views, but it's like, it's the most satisfying argument because sometimes she'll concede and then sometimes I'll concede. And it's like very, like we can actually like look at it logically. And I would say maybe everyone except for her, if I know that you're openly supporting, like, come on them, I just think that you have Trump derangement syndrome, which is honestly like,
so you give him an out like that. I kind of do that too.
Well, it's a form of like being retarded. Like you hate someone so much and you're allowing yourself to be so blinded by what a group of people are telling you who lie about everything. And that's what you're like, I just have no respect for that. I can't separate it. Or you're doing it for money.
Hey, you know who I think's just as bad as the people who are like, I'm voting for Trump because life was better. Life was better when Trump was in office. That's not where I'm at. I'm at the place of it's ideological. Like, hey, dude, the Democrats are pushing an acceptance for pedophilia and gender mutilation of children. And it's like that for me, that just fucking trumps everything. And you're against freedom of speech and you want censorship. Sorry. Like, so for me, it's just pure ideological. So the reason why I have trouble separating it is I truly see them as fucking pushing the fascist agenda.
They are. And it pisses me off. And that's why I can't separate it. That's why I cannot hear, like, I won't listen to a fucking word Taylor Swift ever says ever again. It makes me disgusted. Adam Blakesley, Taylor, did you then put on your Trump hat or did you bitch out? No, I walked up and said, hey, I hope you're not actually voting for that fucking cunt.
You did?
No. No, dude, I want this house. You kidding me?
Hey, dude, it's kind of like a caller. I kind of see it like we've reached a point where it's not two parties. We are down to an ideological. This isn't like we're voting for someone like
We're fighting for freedom.
Someone wants a bullet. Someone wants to invest $500 billion in bullet trains, and the other person wants to invest $500 billion in new aircraft. It's not even like that. It's like, holy fuck, those motherfuckers are about to fucking take away our ability for freedom of speech. They're about to fucking start a war against our children. They've been fucking humiliating fucking melanated people for fucking 50 years. It's like it's bad. They don't believe in fucking civilization or human potential. And so I don't know how you make the distinction at this point. I feel like we're truly in some sort of, I know religious people call it a spiritual war, but we're in some sort of a fucking ideological cultural war. I mean,
100%.
like how about fucking the Rose Scott? I was just looking at the checks. Colton's holding a check for $7,000 and Brittany Weiss is holding a check for $6,500, and people are like, why are the fucking men getting paid more? It's like,
where was that? She actually,
it's like,
that?
yeah, it's like, holy fuck, dude, that's what the.
You're the kind of stupid where you.
Why do women make more on OnlyFans?
Like,
yeah, I mean, it's like,
well, this had nothing to do with the women making more. It was for event wins.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, there's people who are walking around like that, looking for that divide fucking everywhere. That's the fucking problem.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Did Katrin get fake boobs?
It looks like it.
Go on her Instagram real quick. Zoom in on the shot of her.
Okay, that's
in the water. I think.
Thank you.
Very messy misunderstanding. Listen to this comment from Rose Scott. A very messy misunderstanding. You know, it's not a misunderstanding. Roarin Scott, you fucking idiot, is that no one cared about watching the women's competition. Unfortunately for them, they just weren't that fun to watch. What was fun to watch is me and fucking Chris yelling at each other every workout and making people feel uncomfortable. That's fun to watch. It's fun to hear Chrissy Barr's wife go, "You better not let that fucking guy beat you." And like, before I start a workout, like, that's fun. No one gave a fuck. Like,
God, I hope Rio's got that. Yeah, Katrin's got some big old hammers. Are they really white like that because she just got him and the skin's all stretched out?
I think it's
I don't know, but what's that?
I think they're in
message that send to my daughters.
You tell me, what message does that send to your daughters?
Oh, look,
love the body you got. And
geez Louise, I skipped the
yeah,
women.
you know, speaking of the message to my daughters, Brianna, what's her name? Toomey's in the comments. We got to get a follow up. I keep calling asking for a follow up. You keep forgetting, Savon.
About the
date with the NFL player.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, you're right. I need to find that out.
All right. Hey, before I jump off, do you give your kids the powdered toothpaste? Yes or no?
Yes. I don't even have to give it to them. So if we start running low, they start telling me, and they pack it themselves in their bag, and they fucking love the Matoothian. Love it.
Good. I ordered some last week. Thank you.
Smart buy. Yep.
All right. Maha. Bye for now.
Adios, bro.
Hey, someone just sent a social media layout of Katrin David's followers.
Who cares?
And on September 28th, from September 28th to October 14th, she's just continuously losing followers. She lost 127, 158, 223, 145, 214, 222, 138, 209. And in the last 3 days, she's lost 1,200 followers. So her titties have lost
don't worry. She start posting things more, that thing will hike.
Hey, you're so positive.
Listen, bro, I don't want to leave this Roarin Scott thing for a second. Okay,
fine. Okay, let's pull it up.
The WNBA makes jack shit money because no one fucking cares about watching them. And it has nothing to do with them being women. It's because they're just not entertaining, or they're not as fucking good as the men. So listen, if Tia Toomey were here and it were her versus fucking Laura Horvath and there was shit talk, no one would fucking even know that me and Colton and Chris were competing. It would not be talked about at all.
That's what I mean. She's the kind of person who brings sex into everything, woman into everything.
To do with being a woman row the tank. That people, the WNBA doesn't play or doesn't get paid as much because no one fucking watches them.
And Ro, just so you know, of your 45,000 followers, 40,000 follow you because of the barbell or that fell on you, and the other 5,000 follow you because you're a hot chick.
Mason, you're right. In no sport are women better than men, but there are sports where women are more entertaining than men. No fucking doubt.
Yeah.
I
just let that go,
or
bro.
at
Just
least
hit the
ask.
reset. Just hit the reset switch on that. Stop
No,
seeing
she's
stuff
a
like that.
stupid woke fuck. Like when you're woke as fuck, you just don't get it. And that's the ideology that we're trying to keep from taking over our fucking country. And this is what also pisses me off about athletes in general. Like I'm so fucking sick and tired of all the athletes who speak out and are loud. Like we all know who they endorse. They endorse the politically correct option, the option that gets you, ooh, Kamala Harris. I'm for women's rights. Kamala Harris isn't for fucking women's rights, and Donald Trump is not against women's rights. You're fucking retarded. I'm so sick of people with a platform being scared to endorse like doing the right thing. Someone I really fucking respect is fuck. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? The fucking Serbian tennis player.
Oh, Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, Novak Djokovic. Like I respect the fuck out of that guy. I respect the fucking maybe it's the Orlando Magic's player who now is doing he's like doing ads with it's not Breitbart. What's that other
Patrick, he did just define woke. It's people who are headed towards the populace who are doing what's politically correct. It's people who change when you're in the 7th grade and it's okay to call the rug in your living room an Oriental rug, and by your fucking junior year it's not okay for some reason. It's people it's people who are being just controlled by the fucking the giant psyop. I think he explained it pretty well.
He's the black I think he's a forward that like endorses PragerU.
Oh yeah, that guy's amazing.
He wears like American flag socks. Like,
yes.
I want more or fucking God. Why
Jonathan
am I
Isaac?
Yes. What's the fucking? I'm having the worst amnesia in my brain about athletes. I had it yesterday when someone asked me an athlete question. The fucking Jets quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Jeez.
So you think her titties are like Rich Froning's hunting? You think that he shoots an elk and he'll cull the herd for a while, and then eventually the hunting it'll come back up because all the hunters will. So that's what you think it is. You think her titties would be like, but you know her demographic's going to change too.
Yeah,
she's going to get more. She's going to get more perverts.
She's losing all of her like Icelandic female followers who are like, oh, be strong, be woman, be who you are. She's losing all those, but she's gaining like fucking 1 billion fucking people from India who just like are bot accounts that just want to, yeah, just, you know.
Yeah, that.
God damn.
Yeah, while you're on the toilet. It's just
do you ever think that people who post pictures of them and their spouses or their girlfriends and they're and celebrating how happy they are, it's the opposite? I used to have this buddy who was always fighting with his wife, but every post in their accounts was them of how much they loved each other. I was like, oh,
yeah,
are they overcompensating for something?
Red flag when you post like that.
Definitely.
Lizzie, there was a study that Lizzie sent me. It was like apparently couples that post a ton on Instagram are like they're more likely to divorce or something.
Hey, I've known a lot of I knew a games athlete who was dating this chick, and this chick was so pissed that he didn't post her more on his Instagram. She was so fucking angry. I bet you that
athlete or she was.
He was a games athlete. Oh, and I also know a female games athlete whose significant other gets upset that he doesn't get more play. That's a really weird place to be.
Yeah, Lizzie's never said anything like that, but she like before Italy, she's like, I want to take more pictures together because we don't ever take pictures together. Like for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that.
I just can't get off the whole woke thing. It just I don't know. I'm really I'm trying to moderate and on my personal page like how aggressive I am posting, but I'm also like it just like dude, I'm so conflicted. Like I don't get how so many people can be so brainwashed. And this is the thing, like being sober and working the steps, there's this kind of like governor that you get where you're like, man, am I just being super self-centered? Am I just having this God complex where I believe everything I do is right and that I'm judging other people and that my shit doesn't stink and that I know all, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a lot of like the 12 steps builds like a governor into a lot of relational aspects of your life, any kind of your emotional awareness, you know, a lot of things, self-awareness, you doing the wrong thing, making amends for it, things like this. And like, hey, am I just being selfish right now? Am I acting on self-will? Am I acting on God's will? All these like self-governors. And oftentimes having a sponsor is like, you know, an external governor, like you call them if you are unsure of what to do in a situation with a big decision or a little one. They're like, hey, it's probably not the right thing to do. But I feel so fucking strongly about it is 100% not the right thing for Kamala Harris and all the cronies and the fucking bureaucrats that endorse her to continue to have control over our country. That is not what America is fucking about. And I'm so conflicted because I also am so emotional about it. Like, I almost don't even know how to have a logical argument with people. I'm like, you just don't fucking get it. What? It's crazy.
I wanted to say to Ro, hey, Ro, if you're really concerned about women's rights, maybe you should be concerned about the 35 million female babies that were killed between 1970 and now. Maybe you should be concerned about all the women's sports being taken over by men.
Patrick Edwards loves to kill babies. I mean, you can just tell by this guy's comment. He's a grade A baby killer. He probably runs an abortion clinic. And he does all the work himself.
Dr. Patrick Edwards. Hey, how about this? This one's wild. Pink-haired DEI trainer slams Oregon forestry bosses for hiring on basis of merit, not gender identity. She filed a formal complaint against him because he hired based on merit. A pink-haired DEI trainer has slammed Oregon's forestry department for hiring on the basis of merit rather than identity. Megan Donecker filed a complaint about her former boss, Mike Shaw, and moaned about him telling her that he sought the candidates most qualified for the job. This guy got put on fucking paid leave.
What?
Because she complained that he was hiring based on merit and not diversity.
And that's the problem with our country. Look at this fat, useless fucking woman having control over anything anyone else does when she can't even control what she's putting in her mouth. She can't even, do you not understand the level,
her ear is so fat that her earring is pinching her lobe. Look at that.
It's not about how she looks. It's about the decisions. It's about the decisions that you make to get to that point. And it's so easy to correlate to being a drug addict. Like the decisions I made to be a fucking useless, worthless, scumbag, cheating, addicted, drug-using motherfucker made me a terrible person. Just like the decisions that she makes every day to feel good in the moment and to add to her visceral adipose tissue, instead of adding to the years that could extend her life, every decision she makes in that way is just turning her into a worse person. They don't want to take any sort of uncomfortable action for the better of anything. They want to take the quick fix. Ooh, this fucking scoop of sugar makes me feel good right now. Ooh, this reparation I'm going to pay makes me feel good right now. But it's just destroying everything around you. And that's how you live your fucking life. And I don't understand how people can't see that. It's crazy to me, dude.
Hey, they live in a bubble. They refuse to see it.
This guy, the fact that this guy is comparing us to 1984, this is like hate hour in 1984. But here's the thing, we're not shrieking and acting illogically. I'm just failing to understand how people can't peel back the curtain and understand what's going on here. Jeez. Who are you voting for, Patrick Edwards? We'd like to know.
Yeah, Patrick, who are you voting for? If only there was a page dedicated to politics. Hans Kim, been on the show before, maybe even twice. Here we go.
Can't believe there's a woman running for president right now. Is this a circus? They just got the right to vote. Now they want to run the whole thing. Not on my watch. Kamala, more like blah blah. What is this shrieking about? But yeah, I don't think anyone wants to hear women talk. I think we just want to. No, seriously. I think we just want to hear the air moving around their tits. But they're racist to Asian guys. Women want a strong, confident American man that's going to attack Iraq twice for no reason. They don't want a cunning, careful Asian boy that's going to pick the right harbor.
Oh my
Look at you. Wow. Waiting.
Oh
Hey,
my god.
I don't respect
crazy.
any of the sites that bleep out words. I just think it's all just cuckery.
That's
dude.
on Kill Tony, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
but no, but that clip is from someone else.
Hey.
Kill Tony doesn't bleep their shit out.
I did read 1984 like several months ago. I didn't read it in high school, but I read it recently. I wouldn't have understood it in high school.
I think he's talking to Mr. Edwards.
Crazy book, and also like impossible not to draw a parallel to everything that's happening in society to that book right now. And crazy that 60 years ago that guy wrote about it.
I didn't hate Hans. It was a tough interview, but I didn't hate Hans. I didn't.
Why
hate
was it a
Hans.
tough interview? Is he a total woke douche?
No, he's just he just doesn't.
He's quiet.
You
Yeah,
know
he's
what,
very
actually,
quiet.
you know what? Actually, I think that guy Patrick Edwards probably actually did read 1984 in high school when he had no fucking idea what any part of the book meant. Like he read it basically when I'm glad I didn't fucking read it then, because I would just have been a retard about it. Spark Notes, didn't understand it or anything.
Patrick, I think the only reason why it's devolved into just like put downs is because your first comment, you didn't give us any meat to put on the bones. Like if you were to say, hey, you don't understand, it is okay if you were like to be like say something that the left would argue, like why don't you take a stance on something?
You want
like,
you want an
Taylor's putting
example
stuff out there? Why don't you say something like
you want
hey,
an example of the left, Sevon? This is perfect, and I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but he
go
says
ahead.
my entire argument lacks logic, and all we do is put down. Taylor is a walking abortion. More brains in a clinical waste bucket. Where else can we go? Where else?
Wow.
Can we go?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I could just
so
keep pulling him up, you hypocritical fucking retard.
So you're talking about yourself, maybe, Patrick.
So here, geez, this channel has some clever insights about CrossFit, etc. It's just a shame you have to wade through a cubic ton of shit to get through it.
Yeah, just tell us what, dude, and we'll if you when in Rome, why don't you like? Are you okay with pedophilia, Patrick? We have a pretty strong stance against pedophilia on this show.
So such bollocks, Taylor. You can't even say what woke is. Crap. So you're just I mean, you're doing exactly what you said I'm doing, which is fine. I'm not saying I'm not doing it, and I'm also not crying like a bitch that you're doing it. Just pointing out you're being hypocritical. You guys bring dumb into everything. Oh, we could keep going. Anyways, I'm done.
Hans is good though. Hans' stand-up's fucking world class, man.
Yeah, I gotta stay out of the comments more. I don't know. I get depressed when I think about the political state of our country, and when I see my fucking realtor with a Harris Wall sticker on his car, and he's actually a fucking good realtor. I'm like, how can you be retarded? You know,
gender of female captain not to blame for sinking of $61 million Navy ship. New Zealand defense minister. Have you seen this story?
Why is this even matter?
New Zealand's defense minister has clapped back at claims that the appointment of the female to captain a $61 million Navy ship ultimately led to its sinking. The Navy's specialist dive and hydrographic vessel sank on Sunday on a reef off the coast of Samoa that it was surveying. Its crew of 75 it's 75 crew and passengers were ordered to abandon the vessel on life rafts and were later rescued. Dude, the video footage of this thing going down is crazy. She fucking crashed this thing into the fucking reef. I think it's the first ship New Zealand's ever lost.
Oh, bummer for her. That's got to be
Not even in wartime.
A court of inquiry has stood up to establish what caused this terrible accident. The one thing that we already know, it did not. The one thing that we already know did not, because it is the gender of the ship's captain, a woman with 30 years naval experience, who on the night made the call to get her people to safety. Oh, so they already know it's not because she's a woman. Well, of course it's not because she's a woman, but it could be that she was hired because. But it could be because she was hired because she was a woman.
Right.
They're conflating the issues.
How fucking embarrassing. You're in a fucking ocean with no other traffic, and you just fucking hit a rock that you have this massive, probably $1 million radar system telling you is right fucking in front of you, and you just fucking run right into it. That's crazy.
It was purchased for 100 million New Zealand dollars. It's the vessel had been in service for New Zealand since 2019.
Hey, what do you think this October surprise bullshit's all about?
What do you mean? I haven't heard that.
The Trump October surprise, the thing that's supposedly going to bring him down in October.
Oh, I don't know. That
you haven't heard about that?
No, that he was at a Diddy party or he went to Epstein
No,
Island or
I
something.
think it has to do with like new whistleblower documents and reporting about from one of Trump's staffers during the January 6th thing. That's another thing that really frustrates me is when anyone brings up January 6th, I'm like, hey, those people didn't harm anyone and they protested the fucking government, which is what you're supposed to fucking protest in the first place, you stupid fucks. You're not supposed to march down a street because George Floyd died and burn down all these private business owners who have no fucking money and just rape and pillage everything in sight. Like,
Hey, I'll tell you what the October surprise is. Are you watching this stuff on Emhoff?
Oh, Doug Emhoff.
Kamala's husband.
Classic
So
dirtbag. And her,
fucking,
her daughter-in-law is like a fucking crazy trans weirdo.
he fucked his I've heard he fucked his nanny.
Oh,
and
wow.
then he also fucked his kid's elementary school teacher and got her pregnant.
Wow.
And she had a miscarriage.
Oops.
And then in 2012 at the Cannes Film Festival, this woman
Miscarriage.
come out and said that he slapped the shit out of her. He went to Cannes Film Festival with his girlfriend, and they were waiting for the taxi, and she gave the fucking valet like $100 and put her hand on his shoulder, and then he was jealous, so he tapped her on the shoulder. And when she turned around, he slapped the shit out of her.
Wow.
Three witnesses have come out.
Well,
that's an October surprise, baby. The new face of masculinity, Doug Emhoff. Fuck him and chuck him.
Fuck him and chuck him.
And slap the shit out of him.
Fuck him
Bitches.
and chuck him. Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just have you seen
If you
the
have
real
a desire to hit a woman, just run. That's what
No.
you do.
If you have
just
desire
go-
to hit a woman, you should probably jump off a fucking bridge and drown yourself.
You need to just run, just find a direction and run that way.
I think if you have a desire to hit a woman, you're either very immature and young, like just a young kid who doesn't. I mean, maybe even that. I did this one girl kick me in the nuts on the playground when I was like in the 4th grade, and I kicked her in the vagina. That's probably the worst thing I ever did.
Yeah.
That's kind of normal. You're like a really young kid.
My sister has real problems with my boys in jiu-jitsu going against girls. She does not like it. She tells me every time. She's like, did they fight any girls? I'm like, yeah, there was one girl. She's like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, masculine men, like true masculinity, I don't think ever have an urge to harm a woman. Hoofed her, Jonathan Ortega said, damn, you hoofed her. Is that what it's called? I did not just cancel myself. You can't get canceled for something you do when you're 7 years old, bro.
When I was in junior high, this chick Allison fought one of my friends, and it was such a fucking good fight. It was like the 3rd grade. The whole school watched it. It was crazy. She was like a foot taller than him. Call her. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, dude?
I just put my first order in to see peptides, and my wife is like worried because it's like not for human consumption and all that. Explain why, like every website you go to for peptides, it says that
because they're not FDA approved.
Because they're trying to make them illegal. Basically, pharma's terrified of peptides
because they work.
And so they're doing everything they can to fucking stop them. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they fucking get stopped.
When you have a product that solves or fixes an issue and you no longer have that issue, you can't make money on it anymore.
the pharmaceutical industry
And
hates
that's what
things
the
like
FDA
that.
wants.
And I wanted to ask Taylor, because you've run into injuries in the past.
I've
Do you
run into what?
think peptides, like injuries in the past?
I asked Sevon if I should take him and cheat, but he told me to do it, and that's probably why I didn't do it.
Yeah, he should definitely do it.
He was like, "Fuck it, dude, do it." And I'm like, "No, no way."
Is there a place for things like TV 500 and BC 157
They're
in
banned.
CrossFit would make the sport better? I know they're, but do you think there's a place for it that would actually make sport better?
For injury recovery, yeah, I do. I mean, you look at a lot of other sports, and athletes will go on fucking like Conor McGregor will go on HGH to recover from fucking surgery so he can come back and fight. I think if you want the best athletes there competing at their best, recovering from injury is really important, and doing it with drugs is a lot easier than not.
Hans, so why aren't he says, so then why don't the pharma companies just manufacture peptides? I don't know.
Because they won't make any. They look for like a long-term moneymaker. Like they want to buy a house that you rent forever rather than selling you a house. They don't want to sell you a house. They want to rent you a house that you pay for your entire fucking life.
Yeah, so my wife and I were just having that today. Like, what should they illegal in CrossFit? CrossFit is like in the professional side of recovery. That's one of the biggest things to recover the best. And how many injuries that could have been by, you know, a 3-week or 6 cycle of BPC, whatever.
Anything the CDC or FDA tells you to do, basically, just do the opposite.
Yeah.
You're at 50-50 there. You're at 50-50 there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just curious. Like, I don't feel like that. Like, it explains or justifies like people you try to talk to about like BPC 157, like why they're not allowing or why they're saying it's not for human or animal consumption. And I mean, I feel like the fact that they're not pushing it out there, like it's an important thing we should be trying. And like, so, but I was just curious what your guys' thoughts were on it. Thanks,
dude.
All right.
Boy, that was some really bad popping. Here's another one you're gonna love.
Oh, it takes millions of years to get them approved by the FDA, except when you are named Pfizer and it's a vaccine, then it doesn't take any time.
You're gonna love this one. Ro, this is for Ro Scott. This is dedicated to her. Here we go.
Campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. You will notice they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. People like Kamala Harris. But as Kamala said, Kamala Harris. Kamala and I. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was a very good prosecutor.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
This is them trying to get basically white men to vote for her. By saying her name like that.
They're basically saying that the right says her name wrong because they're racist, but then
Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Why do you think
Kamala
this
was
is
for
pause it.
Biden and Kamala?
Because there's a deeper level here. Why do you think they're mispronouncing her name? They know her name is Kamala Harris. Why do you think they're mispronouncing it? I think they're doing it purposefully to get white people to vote for her.
oh, like don't say it, Kamala.
Yeah, they're saying Kamala Harris because they want people who say Kamala to vote for her.
I just assume that they do it because it's easier. It just flows off the tongue easier.
Kamala is no harder to say than Kamala.
Kamala is fun to say.
Kamala is like pretty easy to say too, though. I think they're doing it purposefully.
The more you can get camel in there, the funner it is to say camel.
Do we think
Harris.
the media is super coordinated like that, or they're just really that fucking retarded?
Yes.
Okay.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And to the Kamala point, they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. They say Kamala.
And then it's all the fucking left wing.
Wow.
And hey, that just goes over everyone's head.
How about all the polls saying that Trump's got a clear fucking margin of victory?
Boy.
Do you think it's like the Hillary thing and they're trying to lull us and like we're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to be the ones crying? That would be crazy.
It's I think he's gonna win, but fucking I really have no idea. I think
don't even fucking play this bitch.
Categorically false. It is not true. It is a false statement. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. Funding is also available through FEMA's Emergency Food and Shelter Program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Nothing makes me more fucking angry than someone who is so clearly just lying.
Yeah.
Lying. Holy fuck, that's crazy. Oh, it's scary. It's scary that she gets to stand behind that podium and just fucking lie and act like everything that comes out of her mouth is fact.
How about the fact he's going to do a rally at Madison Square Garden?
Good for him. He'll fucking sell the place out. It's gonna be packed.
And the senator there said it's equivalent to a Hitler rally from 1939.
Yeah, that senator's fucking retarded. Trump's a bitch if he gets elected and he doesn't cut 80% of the government like him and Elon are saying they will.
I agree.
And it's crazy also, like fucking these economic like companies or economic analysis analysts are like, Trump's plan would add blah 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 trillion to the deficit, but they're not taking into account that he's planning on cutting half the fucking federal government, or at least that's what he said he will do.
Hey, I think Biden wants Trump to win.
Biden wants to fucking just be doped up all the time and sit at the beach.
I think he really wants Trump to win. Imagine you're driving a bus full of people, right? And then we stop you and we take you out of the bus and we're like, "Hey Taylor, you're not driving anymore." And you're like, "The fuck, I'm not." We're like, "No, we don't feel safe with you driving." You're like, "Fuck you." And then we're like, "Hey dude, listen, we can tie you up and throw you in the fucking trunk, or you can just shut up and quietly go to the back and someone else is going to drive." So
yeah.
So now he wants the bus to crash.
I don't think maybe he doesn't want the bus to crash. Maybe he's getting to that point in life where he's like, fuck, I'm about to die. And is this really what I want my legacy to be? Do I really want to fucking drive the country off a cliff, or do I want to at least fucking, who knows?
Extra sloppy took some peptides and had an allergic reaction or some sort of reaction, or got a bad batch or something. I don't know what the story is. I don't even know what I would say. If you watch the video, that's pretty much the whole story. It was equivalent to an allergic reaction anyone can have to any medication.
What are they talking about?
He took some peptides.
Oh,
and I think I missed the original story, but I saw the last two stories where he was recovering. He basically, I think he broke out in crazy hives.
He didn't get that bacteriostatic water, bro. He injected himself some potty water. You can't mix it with potty water, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, you can't mix it with the fucking the fecal flood in his basement from the fucking city sewage backing up into his house. You can't use that
he
water.
rinsed his syringe into the toilet bowl and sucked up a vial and squirted into
He went to the fucking public bathroom and grabbed a needle out of the needle exchange. Sorry, we're just mixed it with Rottweiler urine.
Hey, when do you compete again?
The Open this weekend. Kill Taylor.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Fuck you, dude.
Hey Taylor, what made you dislike Chris so much? I think that's how there's two kinds of people. There's people like me who just love everyone and trust everyone and then they fuck me over. And then there's people like Taylor where you have to earn their trust.
I do dislike most people. That's not true.
You're an earn the trust kind of guy.
But I definitely am a people person. In a lot of settings. Some settings I'm not. When I'm competing.
Right. I was gonna say I haven't seen you in enough settings.
Like in my affiliate, dude.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But
Taylor is the kind of guy, like I would see athletes when we were at NorCal Classic and he'd be on the assault bike cooling down or warming up, and athletes would come over and try to talk to him. He could be like he's the kind of person like you're talking to him, and when he's done talking to you, he'll just look away.
Yeah, like if they want to keep having the conversation, and I just like, hey, conversation's over.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't call it a shtick, Kevin. I do think Chris he has a little bit of pussy in him. I wouldn't say I like him. I don't
I wouldn't say you like him either.
Yeah, I just don't hate him. I just think there's a little bit of pussy there. And look, I've had some pussy in me too at points. It's eradicated now for the most part.
Ari, do you want to walk us through your match?
Yo!
Okay.
Did he say yes?
Yeah, he said he's going to come back.
Let's go. Can get the other two there too.
No, fuck that. I just want him on for a minute to talk about the match. We can ask him some questions. How about fucking Hepner and Tony and you all coming on today? That's weird. 3 people to come on.
Yeah, we popped.
Just out of the blue. Are you guys doing what do you think about Bill gave the programming at Crash and 8 out of 10?
Bill who?
Grundler.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. A true 8 out of 10 is hard. I really like the programming. I told Lizzie on the way home yesterday, I thought it was a really good test because every muscle group in my body felt it. There wasn't like one area that was like, oh, I'm hurt or that's stupid. But like at one point in the weekend, my shoulders and arms were fucking destroyed. At one point, my entire midline, like abs and back, were destroyed. My legs are pretty sore today. So I just feel like everything got tested, if that makes sense. Like I feel every muscle group got worked.
On one hand, you could say that every workout was pretty evenly programmed because all the first place were in the top 5 guys. I mean, there were no outlier workouts like most burpees in 7 minutes or a deadlift, a max off.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there was this other take on it that it was very gymnastic-y.
I fucking hate that notion, dude. Let me just fucking dispel this.
Okay.
Anyone saying it's very gymnastic-y. There are 60 fucking reps with a 100-pound dumbbell. 45 fucking deadlifts at 365 for guys, 245 for ladies. I mean, do I just even have to keep going? 24 overhead squats at body weight or heavier. The 100 fucking pill thrusters.
Look what Mason Mitchell wrote. Look what Mason Mitchell wrote.
That's not true at all. Heavy cardio gymnastic bias. That's not true at all. There's 60 reps with the 100. That's what in what way is it this? Listen, for women, if it's very gymnastic bias for that field, they have to get better at gymnastics. Body weight is at the bottom of the pyramid. It's underneath weightlifting. So if you have this, if it's like, oh, the programming is skewed for women because the gymnastics were harder for them, they need to get better at gymnastics. I mean, I'm not saying that, look, 245 is a little lighter on the deadlift than it is for men, but he did that because of the time domain. You didn't want everyone getting capped and you wanted to keep the reps the same. The 70-pound pill, they didn't make an 80-pound. Maybe that could have been 80 pounds. I don't think the women should have used a 75-pound dumbbell because he kept 30 muscle ups for them. I just think it's so, I think it's an easy cop out to say, okay, it wasn't heavy enough for women and it was too gymnastic bias when, hey, being able to do 30 muscle ups faster than anyone else in the field means you're probably stronger in your upper body than everyone else. The 24 deficit strict handstand push-ups, that's more of a strength test maybe than any of the other exercises in the entire competition. As 24 bodyweight strict presses. Like you just can't tell me there wasn't enough strength involved. I would argue that this year it was almost lower skill than ever. There was no handstand obstacle. There was no pegboard. There were no like ring complexes or anything crazy like that. It was just ring muscle ups, which is not a high skill at that level. It was just chest to bar pull-ups, regular handstand walking. Even the GHDs were loaded. The thick rope, that's not a skill. It's just, hey, have good grip strength. I don't know. Marissa Hinojosa, you should definitely get the strict pull-up program. It's the bomb. It works.
Sentinel training. Okay. Ari, hi.
What's up, bro?
Ari, you want to walk us through your match?
Mm-hmm. Ari, I miss you.
You
Is
do?
that weird? Yeah, I miss you guys. It was really fun hanging out with you guys.
Do you miss him?
Mm-hmm.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you say, dude.
Okay, Ari. So I'm gonna play this. You walk us through this. You tell us what's going on. Is this kid any good? Did he feel strong?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got that medal on. Show us that gold medal, bro. Flash that thing up, homie. Let's go. The champ.
This is my first time getting double gold.
Dude, you're the man. That's awesome. You crushed this guy.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about this guy?
He's bigger than me too.
Yeah. Could you feel that when you were wrestling with him? Did he feel heavy?
Uh-huh. And he was close to getting the arm bar though.
Okay. Well, walk us through that. When as stuff starts happening, I'll pause it and you can tell us what's going on. Okay.
Oh, that's loud.
That's too loud?
Lower it a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh, it's frozen on that screen. I don't know what's going on.
I know.
Can you see it on this screen?
I can see it. I can see it here.
Okay. Watch it on this screen because this screen's better. Watch it on this screen. Stand up and move that microphone over here a little bit. Can you stand up and walk over to me? Can you see it? Walk closer.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Watch it.
Is that okay, Caleb?
How about there when you put your foot on his face like that?
That was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you make him say, smell my stinky feet, nerd?
Well, I actually beat him, but then Joey didn't beat him for bronze. But he still got bronze.
Nice.
So he's going for an armbar here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you make him cry?
Yeah. I
Good
actually
job.
hurt his arm.
Oh, not good job hurting his arm, but good job making him cry.
I was actually losing by 2 points. But then I
Ari.
armbarred him.
Ari, does it make you feel uncomfortable? Like when you made him cry, was it like, damn, I kind of feel bad for making him cry?
No.
Oh, damn. I would have felt bad. I was expecting a deeper response, but all good, bro. That's some savage. That's some savage in you. Hey, Tyson Bajent followed me after I stared Chris Ibarra down.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I felt hype.
Yeah, that's
Movement
awesome.
in your pants.
Yeah, for sure. Marissa, yes, I created the whole program. Like this lady who does Sentinel, she asked for a strict pull-up program, and I just basically wrote it for her week by week, and then like halfway through, she got her strict pull-up.
Ari, aren't you scared here? Like, why do you go for that double leg right there? Aren't you scared he's just gonna sprawl on you and be heavy again?
Kinda. I don't understand why I didn't get the 2 points.
Oh, for that takedown?
Yeah. Oh, that was a mistake when I hugged the head.
Heidi, it's because you're a woman. That's why you don't understand. Harris Walls, 2024.
And you snuck out the back? Do you know what you're doing there when you try? Oh, and then right here, you overshoot the back. You shouldn't have overshot the back like that.
Do you, Ari, are you like, when you're hearing this, like in the middle of this match, like what's going through your brain? What are you thinking right here? Right on the ground, what are you thinking?
I want to destroy him.
Okay. but are you thinking about like, is there any technique going through your head, or like what's in your brain?
I
Are you
wanted
just
to sleep him really bad.
sleep him? Okay, so you're just not, there's no technique going on. You're just falling back on your training, and you're like, I'm gonna destroy this guy and choke him out. You're not thinking like, ooh, I should do this or that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool.
But it is all technique. That's all. Everything he's doing, he's learned. His foot placement, where he's putting his hands.
See.
Right.
It's
Hey
pretty
Heidi,
crazy.
it wasn't about him hurting the kid to make him cry. It was about him winning and emasculating another man by winning. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but what's up, Avi?
Did you think you were going to get the rear naked choke there?
You weren't deep enough.
Hey, are you going to cry there? Look at your face.
I was about to. My eyes were tearing up.
They were.
Why were they tearing up?
'Cause I was afraid I was gonna lose. Because I was looking at the timer and there was like 50 seconds left. I'm like, damn it, I'm not gonna win, but I'm still gonna try.
Wow, that's such a cool thought. You know what's crazy is like whatever discomfort you're feeling during this whole match, like that kid's head like grinding against your forehead, or like when he put like where was he grinding against you? Like he had like his knee on you or something, or his shin. Like none of that makes you like hurts your feelings, but thinking that you might lose is like more powerful than any of that physical pain. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
How stoked were you there when you started to get on top? Oh, shit.
There.
Dude, that's so savage. Oh, you're about to crack his arm.
Could you hear me yelling? You better stop it.
Yeah,
You better
yeah.
stop it.
Keep going. Watch, he grabs his.
Oh, he said, yeah, my arm hurts. Ow, I suck. That's crazy, dude. Good job. You see how he's grabbing the back of his shorts like that? I think you made him poop himself a little bit too.
He pulled his underwear out of his butt a couple times during the match.
I think his butt was
He's
hungry.
fucking shat
I think Ari made his butt hungry.
No, I think he pooped
Oh,
himself,
man.
bro. He had a stinky.
Oh,
Damn, what kind of
man.
medals do you have there, bro? Flash those medals.
I have these are my 3 golds.
Damn.
Do you want me to get my other 6?
No, if you
Do
get
you
up and
guys
leave,
just
you're
wear
not
them
coming
around
back.
the house? Like after you win them, do you just walk around like like Conor McGregor style, just like swinging those arms? You know what I'm talking about?
No. I can do
Okay,
the
come
Conor
on.
McGregor walk though. It's
Yeah,
fun.
that's what he's talking about. No, I don't let them wear them around the house because they'll drop them on the wood floor and put little chips in the floor. I make
Just
'em
wear them
keep-
around the house today. Don't let them tell you no.
make 'em
Enjoy yourself.
I make him keep that shit all locked up. All right, boys, it's back to the adult hour.
Guys, you
No.
crushed it. Hey, miss you
Oh.
guys. Miss you, Avi. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Good to see you, man. Maybe we'll come visit sometime.
Yeah, you need to. Now's a great time of year to come.
I'll show you
know
guys how to do some Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
You don't know jujitsu. You only know how to do CrossFit and
And-
lose money
And one wheel.
and hanging out with your girlfriend.
Am I good at the one wheel?
Yeah, a little bit. Bro, you were tipping all over the place.
I was not tipping all over the place. That
You
was
were
the
like,
first. That was the
"Whoa."
first time I rode one, dude.
Let me see if there's any comedy. in
You're a
here.
good teacher, though. You taught me how to do it well, which was cool. Oh, here we go. Colton says, "Good job." He says, "Good work, boys."
Thank you.
Okay, here's something that's appropriate for everyone to listen to.
Hey, did Sevon tell you that Colton beat me this weekend?
Yeah.
Damn, what'd you guys think of that? Pretty stupid. Right?
Did I tell you?
It was kind of awesome.
Wow. Who do you-
I thought you were gonna pull his legs.
Oh yeah, no, that was the other weekend. That was in NorCal, dude. He was behind me in the whole swim, so I didn't get a chance to pull him by the legs.
Okay, here we go.
2 names for animals. One when they are alive, and a different one when they become food. So cows will be beef, pigs will be pork. And chickens, sir? That one stays. Chickens are chicken. And we will create our own foods and name them what we want. Like the hamburger. Made of ham, sir? If it only were that simple. A hamburger is made of beef. Just as a buffalo wing is made of chicken. But fear not, men. A hot dog will not be made of dogs. What is it made of, sir? Nobody knows.
Sir, shouldn't we know what's in a hot dog?
Get out.
I'm sorry?
Get out.
Get out of the boat.
Just go over the side?
Yes, go. A real American would never want to know what's in a hot dog.
Hey, dude, that's the state of our country, dude.
It's crazy.
Was that George
What's
Washington?
in the vaccine?
Yeah.
Get off the boat.
That was
Get
George
off the boat.
Washington.
What's in the vaccine? Get off the boat. All right, boys.
Will I have to?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow, come on. Oh, he's giving you the pouty face. It almost worked. It would have worked on me. Oh, they're gone. See you guys. It was good seeing you guys. Good seeing you, homies.
How dare you?
You can still hear him.
That was Sevon.
Oh, that's something I would say.
What?
No, you kicked him off. I didn't kick you guys off. I said it was
Yeah.
good seeing you.
I can still hear them and I can still talk, you know.
What'd you say?
All right,
Oh God.
boys.
That was Avi.
Thank you, Taylor, to trying to keep us on the show.
You're welcome, guys.
Dude,
See ya.
already. I love you, boys. I'll see you in a little bit. No striking this morning? Okay. What are we gonna do when I get off?
We're going. No,
Oh, we are?
We're gonna go to Italy and see Taylor.
Okay. We're gonna go to Italy and see Taylor.
I'm not in Italy anymore, but
All right. Everyone's been on the fucking show this morning.
crazy.
Anything else you want to talk about? You see this guy jumping rope with the Olympic lifting bar?
Oh, I saw that. That reel. Interesting. Very interesting.
You saw we talked about Danielle Brandon taking shots at Miss Weiss. She's got some balls, huh? No, you don't think that takes a little bravado?
No,
to,
not like that.
To subtweet? No, to tag them takes bravado. Damn, you know what someone just sent me?
What?
Or to just, yeah, it's pretty.
Someone just sent me this picture, and it's this sign. It says, "In this house, we say gay and retarded." And she said, "That's crazy." Do you have that sign outside your house, Sevon?
No.
Hell yeah.
Here, I'll play the jump roping clip for those of you guys who haven't seen it. It's pretty damn good. It's pretty fucking wild.
I said that word this.
Say that again.
I said retarded this weekend, and somebody I was around got uncomfortable.
Who?
I'm not gonna say.
No, say it.
Do I know him?
Yeah. What the fuck? Does he have just rope attached to this?
They look like sets of jump ropes, like each of them its own set of jump ropes.
Oh wow.
So I wonder how when he stops, how he puts it down. You definitely don't stop with it behind you because then it'll come back and hit you, right?
You just let it crash into your fucking shins like a scooter.
Oh man.
Oh shit! Another caller.
I think this is a spam call. It said spam risk.
Oh, pick up.
Of course. Hello, caller. Speak your mind. Hello? No, they hung up.
Damn.
I think those are 5 pounds on each side. So that's
It's not crazy. Still a barbell though.
I know.
55 pounds.
Yeah, fucking breaks your fucking shins if it hits you, right?
Fuck that.
Weightlifters and CrossFitters, I have a challenge for you. This is like, man.
That's a retarded challenge.
Might as well just get a heavy rope. Like real heavy. Like chains.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kenneth says training bar probably. Oh, maybe it is a training bar. That would be far less impressive. Greg Glassman, Trump voter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and if that hits you in the fucking head, you're dead. All right. We're all done. Thanks for coming on, Taylor. Johnny Mertens, everyone. What a show. Long show. 3 hours and 30 minutes. We haven't done a 3 hour and 30 minute show in forever.
We crushed. It was good hanging out. I miss you guys.
Happy Columbus Day. You just saw Caleb.
Oh, is it Columbus Day?
You only missed me.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Dude, that guy's an illegal migrant.
He is an illegal migrant. That's true. I never thought of that.
You guys should get on board with him, bro.
All right, everyone. We'll see you later. Thanks for everything. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.